visited China. So perhaps after all these moves, which was being seen as critical of India, now this meeting is kind of a breakthrough between the relations of both the countries. And perhaps after the meeting, we'll have a joint statement or an official statement from the External Affairs Ministry of all the key issues which are discussed between the two countries.
Thank you for joining us with all those details. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali, in fact, reporting on India-Maldives relations. Moving on now, Samad Vaihande is in partnership with NDTV is an initiative to shift the mindsets and spark a larger societal change around inclusivity and diversity. A change that will make the world see the true capacity of those who carry disabilities. Sweta is one such story, born with spinal blefda. She uses her comedy to talk about disability and related issues for working, to change the perceptions and to make the world a more inclusive space. Sweta is a Samad hero.
I was born with something called as spina bifida that affects the spinal cord. Yeah, I am different, but I want to live life my way. I happened to chance upon comedy. I wanted to experiment and see if I could use this particular medium to express myself. मुझे sympathy नहीं चाहिए, संपत्ति चाहिए. I want to live in a world where inclusion is not an afterthought. So if you have the right tools to live your life as smoothly as possible, why don't I? The applause on stage makes me happy like no other thing in this universe. My jokes have always helped the audience understand a new perspective and laugh at a subject that otherwise has been over-stigmatized. I am Samarth.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Elections क्या है?
Election is basically a reality TV show
जिससे बिग बॉस चुना जाता है.
The biggest festival of democracy.
मेला है मेला.
हमारी आवाज.
Youth की आवाज.
They make hashtags become a voting trend. They communicate their political views with memes. They turn their real ideas into reels. Youth makes elections a lot more fun, and we have just the right election shows for them. As India goes for its 18th general elections, join me, Arun Singh, for 18 Ka Vote only on NDTV. First-time voters, share your hopes and expectations from the leaders in the form of a video message. We'll feature select videos on NDTV.
I pledge to vote. This is the only relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. It is the only way to hold or reward people or penalize them on the governance they have given. It is a centerpiece of our democratic architecture. We have a right which we must exercise.
In the heat and dust of politics, perspective should not get lost. Watch me decipher hard politics through an academic lens, only on NDTV.
I pledge to vote. This is the only relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. It is the only way to hold or reward people or penalize them on the governance they have given. It is a centerpiece of our democratic architecture. We have a right which we must exercise.
The 18th Lok Sabha elections. As always, NDTV has its ear to the ground.
With the biggest pie of 80 seats, all eyes will be on Uttar Pradesh.
Will the Troika ensure the Modi umbrella unites?
Let's bring you another hot seat, which is in fact going to polls in the upcoming rounds of the election, the big battle of Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. Big battle between the National Conference and the PDP. Now, who will have the upper edge as far as Srinagar is concerned? The battle for Srinagar is between two young politicians. Take a look at hot seat Srinagar.
Election fever at Srinagar's iconic Lal Chowk, once an epicenter of separatist politics and a perpetual security hazard.
This is the first election in Kashmir in last over 3 decades which is being fought without fear of violence or boycott calls by separatists. This election is not just about who wins or who loses. It is reviving politics that was in a state of suspended animation as Jammu and Kashmir is without an elected government for last 6 years.
The battle for Srinagar constituency is mainly between two young politicians, Agha Ruhullah Mehndi of National Conference and Wahidur Rahman Para of PDP. One is a victim of terrorism and the other was jailed on terror charges. Para was key player in BJP-PDP government's youth outreach program in Kashmir, but after scrapping off Article 370 in August 2019, he was booked under stringent anti-terror law UAPA, now out on bail.
You would get praise from the none other than the Home Minister of India for organizing major youth rallies at a time when things were horribly wrong in 2017, 16 and 18. But then you are the same person who is a terror accused, who is facing UAPA charges. How you would define yourself, a man who is being praised by the Home Minister for involving youth in the mainstream or a terror accused?
I think this is story of every Kashmiri, every young Kashmiri who wants to express himself democratically. There are structural issues we face. Even the Home Minister of India or the Chief, I was working directly with the Chief Minister Mahabubaji closely. So irrespective of, we had so much of, like the Home Minister would openly say, will praise my work. But then you saw how I was treated. I was booked in 2 terror cases by NIA, by SIA, then, tortured, humiliated and kept in detention for like 2 years. I think this is what's happening to every Kashmiri, and this has historically happened to us. My message to people of India is that Kashmiris are like you. We are not born terrorists or stone pelters or militants.
National Conference candidate Agha Ruhullah's father, Agha Sayyid Mehndi, an influential Shia cleric, was killed in a deadly IED blast by terrorists in 2000. Agha's consistent stand on key issues and staunch opposition to revocation of Article 370 has won him praise even from political opponents, including main rival PDP. Despite being a victim of terrorism, he publicly apologizes for failing to stop migration of Kashmiri Pandits in 1990.
In your repeated, speeches, what you are talking about August 5, 2019 was a black day and you don't accept, and people don't accept that decision. So you are saying that you will going to represent that voice in the parliament. Is it still a relevant issue for the people?
It is. You can see from the response of the people and the sentimental outbursts when you talk about it. You can see it in their tears and eyes. People have not forgotten how we were treated and how our dignity and rights were snatched from us, and that too undemocratically, without our asking for our consent and wish and will.
So that was a humiliation for us as a nation. So it remains with us. It is relevant. It is relevant until we get our rights and dignity back.
Okay, so is Article 370 scrapping the central issue of your election campaigning?
It's not only the central issue, it's the driving force for my campaigning.
The Srinagar Lok Sabha seat is spread across 5 districts, from the Zojila Pass that separates the valley from Ladakh and right up Peer Ki Gali or Peer Panjal mountains in South Kashmir. In Pulwama, which is part of Srinagar seat, it will be the first vote for these enthusiastic residents. In previous elections, they had boycotted polls.
पिछले इलेक्शन में आप लोगों ने वोट डाला था या बाइकआउट?
हमने नहीं डाला हमने बाइकआउट किया था उस वक्त नहीं डाला था वही साहब जैसे लीडर
If participation of people in election campaigning translates into votes, Srinagar constituency is expected to defeat boycott politics before electing its new MP. There are clear signs on the ground and it appears people are leaving behind Srinagar's boycott legacy. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Some breaking news coming in from Karnataka. The JDS has submitted a memorandum to the Karnataka governor and has demanded investigation in the sex tape case. The JDS has said to the government that SIT is not doing a fair probe. Remember, it's the JDS MP, Prajwal Revanna, and JDS MLA, his father, HD Revanna, those who are accused as far as this case is concerned, which has become, a big political talking point as far as Karnataka's politics is concerned. Though the elections are over, but the heat continues. And at this moment, JDS has now sent this memorandum to the governor of Karnataka. Let's just listen in to H.D. Kumaraswamy.
Throughout the state, your workers are protesting.
Our workers protesting. Why the government machinery misusing by some certain friends? That's why actually they are protesting.
Sir, the matter has been proceeding legally. So now you are saying that the Congress.
Nihal Kidwai, my colleague, is now joining us with more details on this. Nihal, how do we see this move? क्या मायने हैं? JDS के ऊपर प्रेशर बहुत है, कुमारस्वामी के ऊपर प्रेशर बहुत है, तो इस SIT probe के ऊपर वो सवाल उठा रहे हैं.
Kumaraswamy had said earlier that the SIT is not doing a fair job. What he had alleged that even Prajwal, on behalf of Prajwal Revanna, who is the mastermind of this alleged sex scandal, he had also filed a case against those who were spreading and distributor who had distributed pen drives. So he wanted that those who are distributing it should be identified and action should be taken. But so far, no action has been taken. This is ground number one. The second thing, the Kumaraswamy had said earlier that the family driver Karthik, who is absconding, he had submitted his statement to the SIT, and after that he disappeared. He had given the statement on 30th of April. After that, his whereabouts are not known. So why SIT is not questioning him also and trying to find out that through whom pen drives were circulated? And that is why Kumaraswamy had said that they have lost faith in the SIT probe, and they want either it should be a judicial probe or the matter should be submitted to the CBI for the investigation. And today he approached the governor and he has submitted a memorandum. So now the thing is that there is even questions are being asked to the SIT that why they are not approaching the session court and requesting the session court to ask the Ministry of External Affairs to cancel Prajwal Revanna's diplomatic passport, because that is the only way how Prajwal Revanna's diplomatic passport can be cancelled. Once his passport is cancelled, it will be easier for the investigation agency to bring him back. But there is no clarity on part of that. That is why Kumaraswamy is saying that they have lost trust in the SIT probe.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. Nehan Kedwai reporting there from Bengaluru. Moving on now, today we delve into the groundbreaking innovation that's revolutionizing the healthcare access in India, particularly in the realm of non-communicable diseases. Here's a report by Ambika Singh.
India, grappling with the escalating burden of non-communicable diseases, faces a huge shortage of cardiologists. With only 5,500 specialists for 1.4 billion people, the need for innovative solutions becomes even more pressing. The hope here is for technology to bridge the gap. This is a digital stethoscope, a marvel of innovation combining artificial intelligence and machine learning. Developed in 2019, this device records and analyzes heart sounds, democratizing access to cardiac health assessment.
So AI Step is an AI-enabled stethoscope. It has got three key components: device, data and intelligence. The device collects 30 seconds of heart sounds and streams it via Bluetooth to a smartphone for visualization. Once the 30 seconds heart sound get uploaded to the cloud, our AI engine studies the heart sound signature pattern and identifies the presence or absence of murmur. Traditionally, doctors have been using stethoscope for decades together, but the diagnosis was just based on the acoustic output. And as you know, Indian OPDs are quite noisy, and some of these abnormal heart or lung sounds might be missed in the hustle bustle of the OPDs. So we bring in a fundamental shift in technology where we add visualization, and there is a phonocardiogram which gets generated at the end of 30 seconds. So what you might miss seeing, some of the nuanced heart sounds, won't get missed in the visualization.
Partnering with Path, AI Step has already made significant strides in rural Maharashtra, screening over 35,000 individuals for valvular heart disorders. Dr. Apurva Akre from Path shares insights on its impact.
AI Step was one of such innovative devices which is currently being deployed in 19 healthcare centers in Satara district. With minimal training, this device is currently being used in primary healthcare centers, Arogya Health Mandirs, school health checkups, as well as during some home visits. Detecting a murmur or detecting a abnormal heart sound, which is a highly skilled procedure commonly done by cardiologists, is currently being done by our frontline health workers like GNM, ANM staff, and even some ASHA workers. We were able to detect many cases for abnormal heart sounds, abnormal heart conditions, which were referred to higher centers and currently under treatment.
Deployed across medical institutions in Karnataka and Maharashtra, AI Step has garnered global recognition showcasing its potential at esteemed platforms like the World Health Assembly and G20 events. As we celebrate National Technology on May 11, let's salute the ingenuity driving healthcare accessibility one heartbeat at a time.
I have a right to decide who will run my country for the next 5 years. And for that, I need to vote. So I pledge to vote, and I encourage all my family members, all my colleagues at Hyundai Motor India, and of course, all the citizens of my great country to go ahead and vote. Vote now and vote forever.
I have been casting my vote from the age of 18, and I encourage everyone to cast the vote rightly, judiciously, so that we have democratic excellence in India, leading to the positive outcomes and taking us towards a Sunehra Kal an Amrit Kal, which is the need of the hour.
Let me give you a very interesting piece of information. See, information ho ya data, we store it in our storage drives. And usually we have multiple different options. I mean, external drives bhi hoti hain, we got SSDs, memory cards and whatnot. Now, usually you might have a drive capacity of, let's say, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, etc. But आपको पता है what's the maximum possible capacity right now? I mean, what's the highest capacity hard drive available globally? The answer is it's from Seagate, and the storage capacity is 30 terabytes. Is just imagine एक drive है, a single piece can hold data worth 30 terabytes. अब अगर आपको लग रहा है what about SSDs, so let me give you another shocker because it's from Nimbus and the Exa drive has a maximum capacity of 100 terabytes. Just imagine 100 TB की स्टोरेज हमारे पास में एक SSD में है. एक टाइम था जब मेमोरी कार्ड्स होते थे of 32 MB, 64 MB. Today we have memory cards going up to 1.5 terabytes. इतने से साइज में. And these kind of drives. वैसे अगर आपके पास में हो तो आप क्या स्टोर कर सकते हो? बेसिकली आई थिंक योर मतलब बचपन से लेके एंड तक जितना डेटा हम जनरेट करें, आई थिंक 100 टेराबाइट से ज़्यादा नहीं होने वाला है. सो वी कैन स्टोर एवरीथिंग इन वन प्लेस विद दीज काइंड ऑफ ड्राइव्स. डिड यू नो दिस? If yes, then amazing. If no, then please let me know by dropping in your emails to tg@ndtv.com.
It's the essence of democracy, and we stand firmly behind it. We are thrilled to join NDTV's pledge.
It's the world's biggest festival of the power of a vote and the power of a citizen.
It is a day we must answer our call to duty as citizens of India.
We get this opportunity to determine how our country will be governed.
It is this constitutional duty through which we can make a difference in our nation's future.
And make India always a better place than it was yesterday.
I certainly plan to vote as long as I'm able to vote.
We are joining NDTV's Pledge to Vote initiative.
Let us make democracy stronger by going out and exercising our franchise. Jai Hind.
As citizens, we must remember that voting is not only a privilege, but also our duty towards our nation. I, Akash Ori from the DLF Group, pledge to encourage my colleagues, their friends and family to vote for the government they believe in. This is the strength of our democracy.
This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello, Moto.
Amid the Air India Express route, deadline for protesting employees to join the work ends. Air India Express employees had also met the Labour Commissioner. 30 staffers have been sacked so far, 86 flights cancelled today. JDS knocks on governor's door, submits memorandum demanding fair probe by CBI. HDK versus DKS intensifies over pen drive leak. HDK has accused the CM and Deputy Chief Minister of conspiracy. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DKS hits out at JDS, says he's not a fool to leak the videos. Amid the Haryana political crisis, JJP and Congress have demanded for a floor test. Dushyant Chautala has written to the governor saying the BJP doesn't have numbers. Bhupender Hooda too pushes for president's rule. Markets continue to bleed. Sensex tanks over 1,000 points. Nifty 50 closes below 22K. Amid strained ties, Maldives Foreign Minister is in India. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has called for reciprocal sensitivity. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. My name is Kitty Bahel. We have some breaking news now coming in. We're learning the ED in connection with the liquor scam probe has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court, has said that the right to campaign is not a fundamental or constitutional as well as legal right. This is in response to Kejriwal's plea in the court. Remember, ED's affidavit now opposing Kejriwal's bail has been filed in the Supreme Court, where the ED has said that the Chief Minister's right to campaign is not a fundamental right. Well, the Chief Minister, remember, has applied for bail in connection with the liquor scam probe, as he's lodged in Tihar jail since some days now. And the ED now in its affidavit has said that the Chief Minister's right to campaign is not his constitutional right. Well, ED has said no one has been given bail for poll campaign. And so ED is now opposing Arvind Kejriwal's bail once again in the Supreme Court, filing an affidavit. The ED has said that the Chief Minister asking for right to campaign for the Lok Sabha polls is not his constitutional or even his legal right. That's the big breaking news now coming in at the moment. We'll try and get more details about this in just a bit. That's the latest at the moment that we are, the information that we're getting. ED also has said that the bail, if given to the Chief Minister, will set a bad precedent. The ED has said that no political leader has been given bail to campaign so far when not contesting. These are, the points that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate in the affidavit that it has filed in the Supreme Court. Well, one of the important points that have been made here is that while opposing Arvind Kejriwal's plea in the apex court, the ED has said that his right to campaign is not a fundamental constitutional or legal right. And the ED has said if given bail, this will create a precedent which would permit all unscrupulous politicians to commit crimes, avoid investigation under the garb of election. Remember, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is lodged in Tihar jail and in connection with the liquor scam case, and he's gone to the Supreme Court asking for bail. Well, the ED has made it clear that if given bail to the Chief Minister, it's going to set a bad precedent, and no political leader has been given bail to campaign so far. Well, that is the latest coming in. ED has told the Supreme Court that the right to campaign for an election is neither a fundamental right nor a constitutional right, and not even a legal right. ED has further said in its affidavit that no political leader has been granted interim bail for campaigning, even though he is not the contesting candidate. Well, that is the latest coming in at the moment. Well, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has approached the Supreme Court, but the ED is once again now opposing its bail, has said that it is going to set a bad precedent. All right, Aam Aadmi Party supporter Huda Zariwala also now joins us on the broadcast. Huda Zariwala, what would you say? The ED in its affidavit that has been filed in the Supreme Court opposing Arvind Kejriwal's bail plea has said that no political leader has been given bail to campaign, even when not contesting. And right to campaign is not a Chief Minister's fundamental or legal right. What would you say to that?
Well, good afternoon. Absolutely. As true as that may be, we also need to understand that the ED has, arrested the Chief Minister and put him behind bars at a very crucial time, which is the time for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Again, this was not a new case. This has been going on for about 2 years now. Multiple Aam Aadmi Party leaders were actually arrested in the case. Sanjay Singh ji just recently got a bail because the ED could not oppose it. So in a similar situation, even Arvind Kejriwal ji eventually will get a bail. As far as this current situation is concerned, campaigning is extremely crucial because, again, this election is very different from the ones that have been happening before. This is an India bloc, India Gadbandhan election wherein, a chief minister that has power in two different states, being Delhi, UT Delhi and Punjab, this is a very important chief minister that we are talking about. The courts clearly do not have anything against him. No money trail has yet been established. There is no proceeds of crime that are discovered so far by the ED. The ED keeps saying that that we have established new witnesses and brought in new approvals and all of that. But so far, where is the credibility of the ED? We all know how draconian of a law this PMLA is. We know that the burden of proof in this case lies on the accused. And the court of law clearly says that any person is innocent until proven guilty, except that in the PMLA, it is the other way around. So obviously, this is going to be a tricky situation. The courts do have their concern that even if he is out on bail, he will not be allowed to actively run the government and be a part of it. That may be the case, but him being granted
but you do understand
bail,
the court has also said that even if Arvind Kejriwal gets campaign bail, he can't. He should be kept away from his official duties. He can't perform his official duties also if he is given bail, because it would lead to conflict. So that remains clear here, that ED, of course, is opposing at the moment, Arvind Kejriwal's bail plea, where he's asked for, bail from the court to campaign. But even if he gets that, he can't even perform his official duty. So his hands are tied from both sides.
But then again, we are talking about Arvind Kejriwal ji, who has been a sitting chief minister of Delhi, is very much the chief minister of the Delhi government. He is not a hardcore criminal. There are no hardcore charges against him. The ED is yet to prove the charges that it has levied, all the allegations that have been put across for the Aam Aadmi Party, for Arvind Kejriwal ji. So even if he's out on interim bail, there is no harm that is going to be caused in any way possible. If anything, he is going to be a very crucial part of the campaigning as far as the official duties are concerned. That is something that, if he's not being able to perform, obviously will be, a situation that is going to be difficult, since he is the sitting chief minister of Delhi, even now.
All right. Of course, taken into context, but the court, we do understand, has already made it clear that there is not going to be a different law that is going to be followed for politicians. And it was considering whether the case fell in the category of exceptional circumstance. Only then, the bail could be granted to Arvind Kejriwal. But the court today has said that the right to campaign, the ED in the affidavit in the court has said right to campaign is not a fundamental right. And so Arvind Kejriwal should not be given bail. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP also joins us on the broadcaster. Shazia Ilmi, what would you say to the developments now that have taken place? ED in its affidavit filed in the Supreme Court opposing Kejriwal's plea has said that right to campaign is not a fundamental, constitutional or legal right.
Absolutely. We've just heard and seen as to what ED's plea is. And ED has made it very clear that the right to campaign for an election is not a fundamental right, it's not a constitutional right, and it's also not a legal right. And ED has also made it clear, and we all know that, that no political leader ever has been granted this kind of interim bail for the purpose of campaigning. Now, we look at all the cases, whether it's Soren matter, Hemant Soren, or Lalu Prasad Yadav, or even Jayalalitha. These are all the sitting, chief ministers who had cases of corruption against them, and who were later, one of them was convicted, and the cases went on. And they were different cases, but all along the same lines as Kejriwal, which is matters of corruption. So none of them got any bail whatsoever on the grounds that they had to go and campaign and do party work. So I think it's a stretching law too far as Aam Aadmi Party and their council hopes and seeks from Indian judiciary today and at this point of time. And our leaders have used the same excuse, for the longest period. Whether it is about avoiding the summons, whether it's, when it came to avoiding the summons, they kept saying there were election in 5 states and there was Lok Sabha election, there is this, that and the other. So they always use this as an excuse. And if the courts were to consider this, I think indeed, and I would agree that this would set a very unhealthy precedent. And this precedent will kind of give a lot of leeway and leniency to corrupt and unscrupulous politicians.
Okay, so Ms. Ilmi, would you help us understand why does the Aam Aadmi Party keep crying foul then? Well, the court also, we have seen in the past few days, have made some strong observations in the case, saying that there can't be a different law followed for politicians. It's only going to consider if there is any exceptional circumstance, if the case fell in the category of that. Well, why does the Aam Aadmi Party keep crying foul here and says the BJP is basically making the ED and, other central agencies do all of this?
This is all they can do. They know very well that everybody knows that our leaders have been complicit in this big scam. And this is exactly why Manish Sisodia has been denied bail, not once, but on different levels, starting from the Sessions Court to High Court to even Supreme Court. And that has gone on since February of last year. So we're looking at a period of more than 16 months here. We look at Satyendra Jain in another matter, again a matter to do with corruption. He has been inside the jail for the longest period. And not just that, there have been many other arrests and they have put together there is an entire, maze of evidence that has come forward. And on that basis, Kejriwal, because of new statements that were unearthed and gave and shone light on the fact that Arvind Kejriwal was also very much part of this excise scam.
Okay.
So now to cry foul, it's very sad, but it's just the standard policy of playing the victim card.
Okay, they're playing the victim card, you're saying. Well, all right. Let me take a response from Ms. Huda Zariwala as well on that before I go to my correspondent Ishika here. Ms. Huda Zariwala, would you like to say something on that?
Well, none of the proceeds of crime have been established. Nothing has yet been proven against either Arvind Kejriwal or any of the leaders that are arrested from the Aam Aadmi Party. So we've been saying it from the beginning. We will keep saying it, that this is a political conspiracy, a clear-cut case of political vendetta, wherein, unfortunately, the burden of proof is on Arvind Kejriwal ji, and then he, nothing substantial has been brought forth by the ED. We have seen how witnesses have been manipulated. We have seen how people who, managed to give...
Okay, that's the charge by the Aam Aadmi Party. We really do not know about that. The ED so far has been claiming that it has concrete evidence and proof with it that establishes its claims. All right, thank you so much, Ms. Huda Zariwala and Ms. Shazia Ilmi for joining us here on the broadcast. That much time we had on the broadcast today. Let me go across to my colleague Ishika also here. Ishika, what more details are coming out of the court now?
Well, in fact, now the Enforcement Directorate had submitted the affidavit, and there very important 3 points have been mentioned by the ED. And number one is that, the right to campaign in election is not a fundamental right. It is not a constitutional right also. And in fact, other than that, the ED also has said in its affidavit that no political leader has been granted interim bail for campaigning, and Arvind Kejriwal is not even contesting elections. So Enforcement Directorate saying that this will be the first time that any politician will be getting an interim bail for campaigning in elections. Now the Enforcement Directorate has also said that this will in fact also create a bad precedent where it will permit all the unscrupulous politicians to commit crimes and avoid investigation in the garb of election. Now these are the points, in fact, even on the day of the hearing, we heard from the Enforcement Directorate side. They were saying, that the Chief Minister should not be treated any different than that of a common man, and also that political campaigning is not that important. But on the other hand, we have also heard how court itself had said that this is an extraordinary case since the Chief Minister does not have any case against him, any other cases against him. Now, certainly that had raised the hopes of the Aam Aadmi Party, and it is, expected that tomorrow the order on the interim bail of Arvind Kejriwal will be out. So whether or not Arvind Kejriwal gets relief, that will certainly be, something that we'll have to wait and watch for. But the Aam Aadmi Party here, claiming that Arvind Kejriwal has done nothing wrong. This is just a, just a frivolous case, a false case that has been, that is just yet another conspiracy of the BJP, is what the Aam Aadmi Party goes on to say. And certainly, if Arvind Kejriwal gets relieved, it will boost the morale of the Aam Aadmi Party for their campaigning in the election.
Absolutely.
So
well, yes, will Arvind Kejriwal get relief or not? That remains to be seen. The order, as you said, is expected tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you so much, Ishika, for getting us all those details. We'll request you to kindly stay on with us. We have some more news now that is coming in at the moment. We are learning amid the ongoing tussle between the Air India Express and its crew members, leading to disruptions in flight operations today and also the termination of 30 crew members. Air India Express had given an ultimatum to the cabin crew members reporting sick to join back duty by 4 p.m. today or risk termination. Now, the deadline has ended. Remember, at least 86 flights have been cancelled today due to the mass sick leaves. The Delhi Labour Commissioner had also called both parties, Air India Express airline management and the protesting employees, for a meeting today. Well, the carrier has also fired 30 cabin crew members who reported sick, that led to the cancellation of dozens of flights. All right, my colleague Ishika with us on the broadcast here, getting us more on that. Ishika, so the deadline has ended now. What happens next?
Well, yes, in fact, as you rightly mentioned, the Air India Express had in fact issued an ultimatum to all of these employees who, as a matter of silent protest, had taken a mass sick leave, which impacted the operations. Now, the Air India Express had said that, if they do not join their duties by 4 p.m. today, as per the roster that has been prepared, then the management can take action. Let me also tell you that the Air India Express has already sacked 30 of its employees today itself. So now, in fact, if we talk about, just short while after this, there will be a town hall meeting also that will be held between the management and the employees, where in fact, it is expected that a decision is likely to be taken there, and also the concerns will yet again be raised by the employees union.
Okay,
but
Ishika,
first, let me tell you that
I'm sorry to interrupt you here. Could you also tell us, did the crew members, any of them report to duty? Has anybody come forward? Has anybody come to join work, or are they still protesting?
Well, an update on that is likely to be shared in short time from now. We'll be able to get as to if the employees have come back to join their work or not in a short while from now. But first, let me tell you that today, in fact, another meeting is being held in the national capital in the Labour Commission, where, where in fact we are seeing that the management, the Air India Express management and the Air India Express employee unions have been called to discuss over this crisis. Because remember, we have seen the kind of support that has poured in for the employee union from the Labour Commission side, with the regional Labour Commissioner saying that mismanagement and in fact blatant violations of labour laws were apparent, and a high-level committee needs to be formed to, in fact, to address the grievances of these employees. So certainly it is going to boost the morale of the employees also just before the town hall meeting. Remember that town hall meeting is very crucial, because that, will clear the stand of the management, because the pressure is already amping up on them, with the Ministry of Civil Aviation also seeking a report. And after the town hall meeting, it will be clear as to what will be the stand also of the management, and also if the employees are coming back to join their duties or not. Over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ishika, for getting us all those details there. We'll keep an eye on the developments there and get you more in just a bit. Well, with that, it's time for a short break here. More continues on the other side. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
In the heat and dust of politics, perspective should not get lost. Watch me decipher hard politics through an academic lens, only on NDTV.
दुनिया के सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र का वो चुनाव जो देश और दुनिया को बदलने की ताकत रखता है। सरकार बनाएंगे करीब 100 करोड़ लोग, जिससे तय होंगे पीएम, पॉलिसी और फ्यूचर। इस सबसे बड़े चुनाव की बड़ी बातों को डिकोड करने के लिए मेरे साथ होंगे देश के जाने माने एक्सपर्ट्स। देश के चुनिंदा शहरों से एनडीटीवी की सबसे बड़ी पेशकश बैटल ग्राउंड देखिए मेरे साथ सिर्फ एनडीटीवी पर, क्योंकि चुनाव मतलब एनडीटीवी।
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Elections क्या हैं?
Election is basically a reality TV show जिससे Big Boss
Welcome back after the break. It's bad news for the markets today. BSE Sensex and Nifty plunged in trade as bears went on rampage on the Dalal Street. While BSE Sensex crashed over 1,000 points, Nifty 50 settled below 22,000. The Sensex and Nifty have extended losses as concerns over the general elections persisted. Well, that is the latest that's coming in. It's been a bad Thursday for the markets today. Joining us on the broadcast is Agam Vakil. He is anchor and senior research analyst, editorial NDTV Profit. Mr. Agam Vakil, what would you say? It's been a bad day for the markets, as we've been saying. What are the reasons behind it?
It was a tough day of trade for everyone who was long in Indian equity markets because the key benchmark, the Nifty 50, lost out on the 22,000 level. In fact, it closed well below that mark today. And the reason why that particular level is important is because the first phase of polling for this ongoing general election began on the 19th of April, and that was also around the level at which the Nifty closed today, which means that the Nifty in this period made a new lifetime high and then retraced by well over 3% in the same time. Why is this happening? Well, there certainly is a lot of nervousness with respect to not just the earnings season, but potentially the outcome of the general elections. Remember that every time we move into a period of general elections, there is increased volatility, and this perhaps is just one of those instances where we have seen a sharp spike in volatility and has also led to a little bit of weakness. It remains to be seen whether or not we do in fact see some sort of recovery over the course of the next few weeks, but at the moment a lot of market participants are certainly becoming a little bit more nervous with respect to several of these factors. In today's day of trade, a lot of the weakness was on account of heavyweight companies like HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries, as well as something like Larsen & Toubro. And once again, we're going to keep an eye on these very companies to perhaps see some sort of recovery going in. For now, markets remain weak, and it's a wait and watch in this one.
All right, there has been broad-based selling also across sectors that was witnessed today because of the slump in the market, both in Sensex and Nifty. Thank you so much, Agam, for getting us all those details there. With that, it's time for a short break here. More continues on the other side.
36 lakh farmer families affiliated with Amul across 18,600 villages of Gujarat have pledged to vote with their families during these elections. I would also urge you to take this pledge and vote as a part of the democratic process of our country.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
A debate has many facets. Perhaps no one.
Amid the Air India Express route, deadline for protesting employees to join work ends. Air India Express employees have also met the Labour Commissioner. 30 staff were sacked so far, 86 flights cancelled. JDS knocks on governor's door, submits memorandum demanding a fair probe by CBI. HDK versus DKS intensifies over pen drive leak. HD Kumaraswamy has accused the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of conspiracy. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DKS hits out at the JDS. DK Shivakumar says he's not a fool to leak the videos. Is a floor test imminent in Haryana? Haryana political crisis deepens. JJP, Congress have demanded for a floor test. Dushyant Chautala has written to the governor saying the BJP doesn't have the numbers. Markets continue to bleed. Sensex tanks over 1,000 points. Nifty 50 closes below 22,000. Amid strained ties, the Maldives foreign minister is in India. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has called for reciprocal sensitivity. JDS leader HD Kumaraswamy has met Governor Thawarchand Gehlot in connection with the sex tapes case involving JDS MP Prajwal Revanna. We are learning HD Kumaraswamy has now submitted a memorandum and has demanded a fair probe by the CBI in the case. HD Kumaraswamy has alleged that the SIT wasn't transparently investigating the matter. Well, the former Chief Minister led a delegation to the Governor House to register the complaint. Well, remember, HD Kumaraswamy has also accused Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar of conspiracy and has claimed that over 25,000 pen drives containing sex videos were distributed before polls. Well, the JDS and the Congress party have locked horns over who leaked the sex videos, while DKS has said he is not a fool to leak the videos, with the JDS and the BJP blaming him. JDS instead has said that it's DKS who's responsible for all this mess, while DKS has said it's HD Kumaraswamy who's done it all. Listen to reactions coming in.
Without taking proper step, without doing any fair inquiry, the way in which they are conducting the inquiry from last 5-6 days, from 21st to April 21st, what this government and government representatives and Congress, what they have done by circulating the pen drives. Then what are the developments after that? How they are taken action against the persons who distributed the pen drives, how they silent about those people. Everything we briefed him. We requested him to request the central government to conduct a fair inquiry from central government. Yes, ನಾನೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರು, ನಾನೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ರು, ನಾನೇ ಕಥಾನಾಯಕರು. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮಲಯಾಳಿ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ರವಿಚಂದ್ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗಳು ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇಂಥ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಥಾನಾಯಕನೂ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಥಾನಾಯಕನ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರಲ್ವಾ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು. ಸಂತೋಷ, ಕಥಾನಾಯಕನಾಗಿ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರೆ, ಇರಲಿ ಬನ್ನಿ.
All right, my colleague Pratibha also now joins us on the broadcast, getting us more on that. Pratibha, the issue seems to have escalated with now JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy meeting the governor and asking for him for a fair probe by the CBI. What more details are coming out? What happened in that meeting?
In fact, there was a core committee meeting that took place with all the JDS leaders, post which H.D. Kumaraswamy, the state president of the party, did submit a memorandum to the Karnataka governor asking for a free and fair probe. In fact, this is not the first time that he is making such statements. For the last 3-4 days, Kumaraswamy has been lashing out against the Congress. On one part, we are talking about the controversial videos revolving around the first of the JDS, but on the other, there is the JDS accusing the Congress of being responsible for leaking those controversial videos in the first place, unmindful of the identity of the victims. And they have been specifically pointing fingers at the Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. In fact, D.K. Shivakumar has also been giving strong statements against the JDS as well as H.D. Kumaraswamy. So a whole new political blame game playing out there between D.K. Shivakumar and H.D. Kumaraswamy there. But in the meantime, there is also the bail hearing of H.D. Revanna that is underway at the court. All eyes are on whether H.D. Revanna would secure the bail or not. He is currently in judicial custody, while at the same time there is also a question about Prajwal Revanna's return, because it is Prajwal Revanna who is the key accused as far as the controversial videos are concerned. Back to you.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Pratibha, for getting us all those details. Well, my colleague Pratibha has also spoken to Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. This is an exclusive conversation we've had with DKS on this case. He said that he's not a fool to leak the videos and JDS sees him as a threat. That is why they're levelling such allegations against him. Listen in.
We have with us Deputy CM of Karnataka, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. Sir, now that the elections are over in Karnataka, what are the prospects of the Congress here?
Congress will win a comfortable more than 20 seats in Karnataka. We are very happy that the entire party, the voters of Karnataka, felt that we have promised whatever we have promised, we have delivered, and better than the assembly election, I am confident this election will go through.
So one of the biggest election controversies has also been the Prajwal Revanna case, with allegations against you saying that you could have been responsible for leaking the videos.
I am not a fool or I am not a mad. I am no way connected to it. It is their blunder, it is their hit wicket, and you know what the Chief Minister has spoken, the former Chief Minister has spoken. I am no way connected to it, and it is all their own blunder what they have made themselves. See, we do politics in a straight way. We not, but instead of speaking all these things, the BJP knew everything, he knew everything, Kumaraswamy, they would have protected their own this one. They are putting onus on. In what way we are connected? In what way we are no way connected? Already Kumaraswamy said that it is his, he doesn't have, he has distanced himself from his father and his brother. Now why is he speaking on this? It is all his own. He is the actor, he is the director, he is the distributor.
So are you worried about the political fallout because the JDS is targeting you?
No, naturally, because they feel I am a threat to them. They feel that they are a threat to them. They naturally target whom? They can't target people who goes on the street. More the strong, more the enemies. Less strong, less enemies. No strong, no enemies.
So was the Congress aware of these allegations, sir?
We are not aware of these allegations. We never knew about this. We never knew. Let them do whatever they make. It is the BJP and them. They are the partners. Let them do whatever they want.
Thank you so much, sir. That was Mr. D.K. Shivakumar talking about the allegations against him of leaking the videos, saying that it is definitely not the Congress that was aware of these allegations earlier. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
All right, shifting our focus now to Haryana. Amid the Haryana political crisis, sources have told NDTV that JJP MLAs have reached out to the BJP. Sources are also telling NDTV that 3 to 4 JJP MLAs have met former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. This is some exclusive information that's coming out at the moment. Sources have also told NDTV that a meeting has taken place at Haryana Minister's residence, that is in Panipat. In Panipat, Mahipal Danda's residence is where this meeting has taken place. 3 to 4 JJP MLAs now have met former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. This is a new twist now coming in at the moment amid the political crisis that is going on in Haryana at the moment. A big twist now coming in. Let me go across to my colleague Gurpreet here. He's getting us more details here. Gurpreet, what more details are coming out? We're learning now a meeting has taken place between 3 to 4 JJP MLAs who've reached out. Former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. This meeting took place in Panipat at the residence of a minister.
Well, that is the new twist which we have already seen, that how this political turmoil in Haryana is changing day by day. We have seen some of the JJP MLAs, they have already held a meeting with the former Chief Minister ML Khattar at Panipat, and now it seems various political angles are being probed by these political leaders. Also, one side JJP Neta, he has already written a letter to the Governor Haryana saying that there is need for the floor test. On the other hand, we have seen the Congress Neta, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, he has also demanded that there is need to hold a floor test, and he has also sought an appointment from Haryana Governor. So let's see that how this political crisis which is happening in state, how it is going to be unfolded in coming days. Back to studio.
Okay, Gurpreet, could you also help us understand what are the numbers? How do the numbers stand at the moment with the BJP, the JJP, and amid this crisis that is prevailing in the state? Where does the BJP stand at the moment? The BJP so far is saying the government is stable. There is no cause for concern.
Well, if we can see the mathematics of Haryana politics, as of now, what we have learned, BJP has 40 MLA on its own and 3 independent MLAs who are supporting BJP. So total number is 43, whereas the magic number is 45. It seems that 2 MLAs are short of this magic number, and that is the race why we have seen that multiple leaders are talking to multiple MLAs so that they will be able to get their support. And if we can talk about the Congress side, Congress has 30 seats and 10 is from JJP. And if all the opposition leaders, including INLD and others, they are going to get united, then they have a magic number 45. So they are in a position to form a government. But at the same time, we have seen the BJP says that the government is stable, and some of the MLAs, they are already in touch with the BJP. So that's why if right now, if we can calculate, it seems that the BJP is short of majority. BJP needs at least 2 MLAs to complete this magic figure. Okay. But let's see that how these things will be unfolded and how this political drama will be playing in the state of Haryana.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's also now listen in to Dushyant Chautala. He had spoken to the media earlier, and well, he's made some really strong claims. Listen into what he said.
2 महीने पहले जो सरकार बनी थी, आज वो अल्पमत में चली गई है, क्योंकि उनको सपोर्ट करने वाले 2 MLAs, एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, एक निर्दलीय ने इस्तीफा दे दी, और 3 MLAs इंडिपेंडेंट जो सपोर्ट कर रहे थे, उनने अपना सपोर्ट विड्रॉ कर लिया गवर्नमेंट से, गवर्नर को लिख दिया। जननायक जनता पार्टी ने खुल के कहा है कि अगर इस सरकार के खिलाफ अविश्वास प्रस्ताव आता है तो हम बाहर से उसका पूरा समर्थन करेंगे, और इसके लिए महामहिम राज्यपाल को लिखित तौर पर भी हमने भेजा है, और ये मांग करी है कि संविधान के अनुसार ये पावर महामहिम के पास है कि वो फ्लोर टेस्ट के लिए आदेश सरकार को दे।
खाली है जेजेपी कह रही है कि 1 मिनट का भी काम नहीं था, ये तो जाके जो काम नहीं था राज्यपाल से जाके मिलते जेजेपी, तो ये कह रही है कांग्रेस तुरंत राज्यपाल से मिलती। नहीं, कांग्रेस ने कह दिया, कांग्रेस ने कह रखा है, लेकिन हमारे एमएलए में कोई वो नहीं है। ये बात की जो इनका गठबंधन था, गठबंधन तोड़ने का भी समझौता हुआ था। आज लोग समझ चुके हैं मुकाबला सीधा कांग्रेस का और बीजेपी का है, बाकी वोट काटो। सर जेजेपी कह रहे हैं कि भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जो बजट सत्र में जो अविश्वास प्रस्ताव लाए वो बीजेपी के कहने से लाए, ताकि अब अविश्वास प्रस्ताव आता 6 महीने नहीं मिलते जो है। ये भी है, उनको पता ही नहीं है क्या कानून है। अब सेशन बुलाए, बहुमत करें, और वो कह रहे हैं हमारा बहुमत है, तो परेड करें बहुमत की गवर्नर के सामने। हमारे इतने एमएलए
जितने 10% पे एक सवाल पूछा जाए कि आपने काम क्यों करवाया, उनका कहना हम नेगोशिएशन मत दियो, हमारे काम छोड़ दो, मोदी जी के काम देखो, मोदी जी के नाम पर वोट मांगना है। तो उनका बीजेपी का रिप्लाई हो है कि इसे अगर कांग्रेस वाले हैं तो अपना काम बंद दिए। हमारा ये है, हमारा काम देखो, काम पे वोट दो। तो आप क्या काम देखो ना, काम पे वोट दो। तो उनका कहना है मोदी के नाम पर अगर वोट मांगा तो राहुल गांधी है ना, अपनी उपलब्धि कोई नहीं होंगी। जब किसी की अपनी उपलब्धि नहीं है तो किस नाम पे वोट देंगे? मोदी के मालूम व्यक्ति के सवाल नहीं है, व्यक्ति सवाल है उपलब्धि क्या है, व्यक्ति का सवाल नहीं है। चाहते तो सरकार को 1 घंटे में गिरा सकते हैं, लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों की बात वैसे क्या सरकार के का स्वागत सर आपने टीम की तरह नौकरियां बांटी।
All right, that was the press brief coming in from Bhupendra Hooda there. Lot of active developments are taking place in Haryana at the moment. We'll keep an eye on the developments. Meanwhile, we have some more information are coming in with regards to the comments made by Congress leader Sam Pitroda earlier. BJP workers are now staging protest against the Congress party in Karnataka. Well, those are the latest visuals now coming in at the moment of the BJP staging a protest in Karnataka at the moment against the remarks that were made by Congress leader Sam Pitroda. Remember, Sam Pitroda also had to resign from his post. He was the Congress's overseas wing chief earlier and an advisor to Rahul Gandhi, but he's resigned from his post of Congress's overseas wing head, and that is after he had made a controversial remark while participating in an interview to the Statesman where he said people from the east look like Chinese and people from the south of India look like Africans. This was the remark made by Congress leader Sam Pitroda, which definitely caused major embarrassment to the Congress party. And this was not the first time that he made such a remark. It was after the inheritance tax controversy that had erupted just a while back. This was the second comment now made by Sam Pitroda that landed the party in trouble. Now the BJP is staging protest against the Congress party, and with that banner in their hands, the BJP workers of the banner of Sam Pitroda in their hands, they're staging the protest here in Karnataka. This is in Karnataka's Bengaluru. We're learning the protests are taking place at the moment. We'll get more on that in just a bit. That is the latest coming in. Well, a number of BJP workers have gathered here in Bengaluru staging protest against the Congress party and the remarks that were made by Sam Pitroda earlier. Remember, big developments have taken place ever since the remark that was the insensitive statement that was made by Sam Pitroda, the racist comment that was made by Sam Pitroda, after which he had to resign from his post. And now the BJP is staging protest in Bengaluru at the moment, doesn't want to let the issue die down here that the BJP, of course, is signaling here. All right, my colleague Pratibha now joins us on the broadcast, getting us more on that. Pratibha, BJP workers there in Bengaluru staging protest against the Congress party and the remarks that were made by Sam Pitroda earlier. Sam Pitroda has, of course, resigned from his post, but the BJP looks like is in no mood to let the issue die down.
Well, definitely not. They are in no mood at all. In fact, even though Sam Pitroda may have offered to resign from the post, but then there is a clear difference between sacking him and him resigning from the post. These are two different things. This, the statements that we are picking up from the BJP Yuva Morcha members who have been staging protests here at Bengaluru's Freedom Park, all of them gathered, issuing statements and raising slogans against the encouragement that has been provided to Sam Pitroda by the Congress, and that they have been stating that even though they hail from southern India and have been compared to being looking like Africans, color doesn't really matter. Even though these racist statements do not really affect them, the matter that has definitely angered them is the fact that descendants are being questioned. Are we really a descendant of India or not? And how can this be looked at as an insult to India or not? These are the kind of questions that have been raised, as well as slogans that are being raised by the BJP Yuva Morcha here. Definitely not letting the issue to get doused at this point in time, because this has definitely irked not just India but even the BJP. Are the statements that we are picking up here during these protests, and they've been stating that these protests would only continue until the Congress decides to discontinue all its ties with Sam Pitroda.
Okay, well, that happens or not, that remains to be seen. Any reaction that is coming in from the Congress party so far, Pratibha, on that?
The Congress has been pretty tight-lipped on this issue, but definitely we would be trying to see if we could get some reaction now that the protests are being staged and that the BJP has warned that these protests would continue to go on relentlessly from here on. But we're waiting to pick up reactions from the Congress, but so far absolutely no word from there, maintaining a safe distance from the entire controversy.
All right. Thank you so much, Pratibha, for getting us all those details there. Well, the Congress definitely tried to douse the fire by distancing itself from the entire controversy, but the damage perhaps was already done with Sam Pitroda making those racist remarks, saying that people from the east of India look like Chinese, while those who are in the north of India, they look like they are white, and people from west look like they're Arabs, and people in down south look like Africans. That was the insensitive comment, racist comment made by Sam Pitroda, after which he had to resign from his post of Congress's overseas wing head. Well, he's been an advisor to Rahul Gandhi also, and the BJP has upped the ante against the Congress party now, saying that it must sever all ties with Sam Pitroda, which it hasn't done so far. Well, that is the latest coming in at the moment. We'll get you more on that in just a bit. Shifting our focus now to some more news that we're tracking. Union Minister Amit Shah is hit out of the AIMIM, BRS and the Congress party over appeasement politics in Telangana. He's raised the vote for jihad versus vote for welfare charge against the Congress party. Meanwhile, in Raebareli, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra targeted MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, accusing him of working directly with the BJP. Listen in.
भाइयों और बहनों, कांग्रेस, मजलिस और BRS ये तीनों अपीसमेंट का ट्रायंगल है। ये लोग रामनवमी का जुलूस नहीं निकलने देते हैं। ये लोग हैदराबाद विमोचन दिन नहीं मनाने देते हैं। ये लोग CAA का विरोध करते हैं। ये लोग यहाँ पर शरिया के आधार पर, कुरान के आधार पर तेलंगाना चलाना चाहते हैं।
मैं बार बार आपको यही कह रही हूँ, असदुद्दीन ओवैसी जी सीधा सीधा भाजपा के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। जहाँ जहाँ भाजपा को जरूरत है कि वो किसी को खड़ा कर दे, बाकी पार्टियों को पीछे रखने के लिए वो कर रहे हैं। ये बात बहुत स्पष्ट हो गई है। तेलंगाना के चुनाव में ये बात बहुत स्पष्ट हो गई है।
All right, we'll get you more on that in just a bit. It's time for a short break here. More on the other side.
The 2024 Lok Sabha polls are crucial for the future of this country. Having covered elections for 35 years, I hope to cut through the cacophony of a long, hot summer campaign and help to understand and decode the issues, the challenges, and finally the outcome.
As citizens of this great nation, we have the power to shape its future. And one of the most crucial ways we can do that is by casting our vote. It's not just a right for every citizen, it's a responsibility. A responsibility to ourselves, to our communities, and to our country. So, I urge all of you to exercise your right to vote. I always ensure that I fulfill this duty to our country.
आईपीएल का हल्ला बल्ला और सबसे शानदार कवरेज सिर्फ एनडीटीवी पर।
In our country, we choose our leaders, we decide who is going to be ruling the country, and it is something which is both a fantastic right, privilege, and we should also see it as our constitutional duty. So this election, I am going to be there, and I hope you all will join me in casting your vote too.
Data drives our understanding of any election. What does a dip in voting percentage mean? What are the big factors to watch out for this poll season? Join me, Amitav Tiwari, in a data deep dive only on NDTV, where we decode and simplify the data for you.
The biggest carnival of democracy, India's general election.
Welcome back after the break. We delve into a groundbreaking innovation today that's revolutionizing healthcare access in India, particularly in the realm of non-communicable diseases. Here's a report by Ambika Singh. Take a look.
India, grappling with the escalating burden of non-communicable diseases, faces a huge shortage of cardiologists. With only 5,500 specialists for 1.4 billion people, the need for innovative solutions becomes even more pressing. The hope here is for technology to bridge the gap. This is a digital stethoscope, a marvel of innovation combining artificial intelligence and machine learning. Developed in 2019, this device records and analyzes heart sounds, democratizing access to cardiac health assessment.
So AI Steth is an AI-enabled stethoscope. It has got three key components: device, data and intelligence. The device collects 30 seconds of heart sounds and streams it via Bluetooth to a smartphone for visualization. Once the 30 seconds heart sound get uploaded to the cloud, our AI engine studies the heart sound signature pattern and identifies the presence or absence of murmur. Traditionally, doctors have been using stethoscope for decades together, but the diagnosis was just based on the acoustic output. And as you know, Indian OPDs are quite noisy, and some of these abnormal heart or lung sounds might be missed in the hustle bustle of the OPDs. So we bring in a fundamental shift in technology where we add visualization, and there is a phonocardiogram which gets generated at the end of 30 seconds. So what you might miss seeing, some of the nuanced heart sounds, won't get missed in the visualization.
Partnering with Path, AI Steth has already made significant strides in rural Maharashtra, screening over 35,000 individuals for valvular heart disorders. Dr. Apurva Akre from Path shares insights on its impact.
AI Stat was one of such innovative devices which is currently being deployed in 19 healthcare centers in Satara district. With minimal training, this device is currently being used in primary healthcare centers, Arogya Health Mandirs, school health checkups, as well as during some home visits. Detecting a murmur or detecting a abnormal heart sound, which is a highly skilled procedure commonly done by cardiologists, is currently being done by our frontline health workers like GNM, ANM staff, and even some ASHA workers. We were able to detect many cases for abnormal heart sounds, abnormal heart conditions, which were referred to higher centers and currently under treatment.
Deployed across medical institutions in Karnataka and Maharashtra, AI Stat has garnered global recognition showcasing its potential at esteemed platforms like the World Health Assembly and G20 events. As we celebrate National Technology on May 11, let's salute the ingenuity driving healthcare accessibility one heartbeat at a time.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
It's the essence of democracy, and we stand firmly behind it. We are thrilled to join NDTV's pledge.
It's the world's biggest festival of the power of a vote and the power of a citizen.
It is a day we must answer our call to duty as citizens of India.
We get this opportunity to determine how our country will be governed.
It is this constitutional duty through which we can make a difference in our nation's future.
And make India always a better place than it was yesterday.
I certainly plan to vote as long as I'm able to vote.
We are joining NDTV's Pledge to Vote initiative.
Let us make democracy stronger by going out and exercising our franchise. Jai Hind.
First gadget that we have for this week's episode is this. The all-new Xiaomi 14 Ultra. I mean, ये जो phone है, this is a flagship device from Xiaomi. Packs a lot. मतलब, if you talk about the in-hand feel, the device is really premium. The camera is made in collaboration with Leica. I mean, जो lenses हैं वो Leica ने बना के दिए हैं, and the entire hardware is really fantastic. The phone feels like a flagship phone. काफी interesting features हैं, things like the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. We have a nice Quad HD Plus display, 5000 mAh battery, and I mean everything packed in this nice looking package. Let's have a closer look कि आखिर क्या features हैं all together इस Xiaomi 14 Ultra में, and then I'm gonna tell you what do I think. मतलब इस फोन के बारे में मेरे क्या थॉट्स हैं, so that you can make an informed decision of buying or not buying this phone.
Forget ordinary. The Xiaomi 14 Ultra has arrived to redefine smartphone power. Its massive 6.73-inch display doesn't just boast eye-popping resolution, ये blaze through करता है with a 120 Hz refresh rate, making every swipe and scroll buttery smooth. And for those clumsy moments, rest assured the display's toughened protection can handle the occasional bump or drop. Under the hood, the Ultra pack करता है 16 GB of RAM, जो कई लैपटॉप्स के मुकाबले ज़्यादा है. और जब इसको बूस्ट की ज़रूरत हो, इसका 90 watt fast charging and wireless charging have your back, ready to get you back in the game in record time. कैमरास की बात करें तो
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. A day before the hearing in the Supreme Court, the Enforcement Directorate opposes Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's bail, says campaigning is not a fundamental or constitutional right, and says that bail for Arvind Kejriwal will set a bad precedent. In the sex tape horror case, the JDS submits a memorandum to the governor demanding a fair CBI probe, accuses the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, DKS, of leaking the sex videos. In an exclusive interview, DKS says not a fool to leak these videos. Latest developments in the Haryana crisis. Is the JJP headed for a split? Can Dushyant Chautala keep his flock together as some of his MLAs meet former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar? A floor test seems imminent. Bhupender Hooda of the Congress pushes for President's rule. In the Air India Express crisis, the deadline for pilots and workers to join work has ended. The Air India Express employees meet with the Labour Commissioner, have made a demand to reinstate colleagues before they rejoin work. 30 staffers have been sacked so far, 86 flights cancelled. And markets bleed. The Sensex tanks over 1,000 points. The Nifty 50 closes below the 22,000 mark. Mid and small cap indices fall 2%. Our top story now, and with the Supreme Court set to decide on interim bail for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal tomorrow to allow him to campaign for the ongoing Lok Sabha elections, the Enforcement Directorate today filed an affidavit opposing his petition and said that laws are equal for all and that campaigning is not a fundamental, constitutional or even a legal right. The probe agency, which arrested the AAP chief in the liquor policy case on the 21st of March, just before elections, also pointed out that no political leader has ever been granted bail for campaigning and said that letting Mr. Kejriwal out of jail to canvass for his party candidates will set a wrong precedent. Earlier on Tuesday, the Supreme Court had said that Mr. Kejriwal is an elected Chief Minister of Delhi and he is not a habitual offender. Let's go across to Ashish Bhargav now for more. And Ashish, so just a day before the hearing on this matter is to be taken up by the Supreme Court, the Enforcement Directorate, putting in this affidavit. Take us through more of the details from the affidavit.
See, the ED filed affidavit in Supreme Court. Again, ED opposes release on interim bail by the Supreme Court. Arvind Kejriwal, for ED tells Supreme Court that the right to campaign for an election is not a fundamental right, nor it is a constitutional right, or not even it's a legal right. Also, it is said that no political leader has been given interim bail for campaigning, even though he is not constituting. Also, Supreme Court said that it will set a wrong precedent if Kejriwal is given bail. All the politicians can follow this path to get away from the law and from the arresting also, and from the judicial custody also. ED also said in its affidavit that for the since past 5 years there is 123 elections in the country, but no interim bail has been given to everybody. If interim bail is to be granted for election campaigning, then no politician can be arrested. Also kept in judicial, it will be hard for agency to kept in judicial custody since election are all year round. So ED is again opposing. Day before yesterday, when this case was going on, for ED, Solicitor Tushar Mehta appeared before the Supreme Court and opposed Kejriwal can't be given any type of interim bail for only for campaigning in the election. Also, he compared with a common man. He said a common man can't be given any kind of relief by the court. So, as Arvind Kejriwal also, although the Supreme Court was on the indicated that he is that it is thinking about the giving interim bail to Kejriwal for campaigning in the election, since it's a national election and it is a case of exception. So Friday means tomorrow is an important day for Kejriwal. Supreme Court will decide either way. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. For Kejriwal, for the Aam Aadmi Party. Thanks so much, Ashish, for joining us there. Well, we're also now joined by Huda Zariwala, political analyst, someone who supports the Aam Aadmi Party, and Shaina NC, spokesperson of the BJP. Huda Zariwala, first to you, given that the very strongly worded affidavit has been put in by the enforcement director, they keep reiterating this point about how, politicians can't be treated any different than the common man, than the Aam Aadmi, and saying this would set a bad precedent.
Well, as true as that may be, Arvind Kejriwal ji is a people's man. He is an Aam Aadmi. This party is born out of an Andolan. This party is literally a common man's party. So you could put the national convener of the party in jail, but you certainly cannot jail the ideology of the Aam Aadmi, which is working in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party. He is in jail because of a law by the ED, which is under the PMLA, where the burden of proof, unfortunately, lies on the accused.
All right, Shaina NC, your response to that, and Aam Aadmi Party has been maintaining that the reason the Chief Minister was targeted is because, it's coming just ahead of elections, and they've questioned how he's been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, an agency that many opposition leaders have said is being used by the centre to target opposition members.
You know, it's quite funny, Gargi, that you even asked me this question. Now, you have Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, whose money trail has been known to one and all, and the kind of funds which were distributed in the Goa elections, the money trail is in the public domain. Then you have the fact that you're receiving funds from Khalistani sympathizers of Devendra Pal Bhullar's release. I want to question that, is there something called law in this country? And if there is, it's not for you and me to be sitting on judgment.
That's a matter that will be probed, of course.
Yes,
absolutely.
But probed by whom?
It has to be probed. We can't say that he's received these funds, etc. It's a matter for, agencies to probe.
Gargi,
and this is something that's been said for a few years now. It keeps coming up, and now again it's been brought up by the BJP.
Let me just please say 2-3 things.
Yes, sure, go ahead.
You have the LG, Mr. Saxena, who has urged the NIA to initiate a probe on this kind of receiving of political funding by a terrorist organization called Sikhs for Justice. You have certain charges which have come up vis-a-vis Khalistani sympathizers. That money trail that you talk about is all in the public domain, and that's why the ED has been competent in its entire case and has said that a neta cannot be given bail just to campaign. If it is for the courts to decide, we don't want to comment because this matter is sub judice. Sure. But do understand that if you have a complaint, you will realize that the videos where the leaders are taking money from a gentleman called Gurpatwant Singh Panan, and the fact that $616 million from 2014 to 2022 in lieu of a release of letters for clemency for Devendra Bhullar, a terrorist convicted under TADA.
Right, ma'am, so there are lots of claims that are being made here that are not proven. When you say that the money trail is in the public eye, it still has to be proven in court. It hasn't been proven in court. We've seen time and time again, many things are said on camera, in the, in the public, and then when it boils down to the actual evidence, it's, sometimes it falls short. So that has to be kept in mind in dealing with any of these cases. But yes, Huda Zariwala, many points being made there by Shaina NC, also talking about this latest charge that the Delhi LG has brought about the funding being received by AAP.
I mean, if you're going to talk about charges, there's so many charges that even the Aam Aadmi Party can talk about. At this juncture, Aam Aadmi Party respects the verdict of the Supreme Court. We are a party that is a law-abiding one. And also, let us not forget, during the entire lawmaking process of, the ED allegation claimed, the liquor scam, Arvind Kejriwal ji was not even part of the lawmaking process. I mean, we will let the court take its due course of time. We will let the courts decide what needs to be finally, a decision that needs to be finally taken. This is a public prosecution, which will come to, light in the days to come. I mean, Arvind Kejriwal ji being in jail is not a setback per se. I mean, yes, he is the ex officio convener, the sitting chief minister of Delhi, but and by virtue of him being convener, obviously him being a star campaigner at this, highly crucial juncture of the 2024 Lok Sabha election would have been essential. But also, let us not forget that this is a chief minister that is born out of multiple allegations. If you're talking about allegations, Satyapal Malik ji had given a whole thing about how, the Pathankot attack was a farce and things like that. So if you're going to go by allegation, by he said,
all right,
she
so
said,
let's keep the subject,
this is going to be a long debate.
This particular case. And Shaina NC, it did seem, in the last hearing, the Supreme Court was, it seemed inclined on the interim bail, saying that it's because the elections are underway that it was considering this, given that he is the chief minister, and also questioned the enforcement directorate over this 2-year case that has dragged on, and saying, how come it's dragged on for these 2 years, and finally Arvind Kejriwal being arrested just ahead of elections.
Gargi, the enforcement directorate post 2003 is not just some random body. There's not just statutory rights. Suo moto, it can arrest based on the evidence. There is clear case of money laundering, and the PMLA facts are in the public domain.
And yet no
now,
name
this
has
party
been
that
taken in the
pretends
charge
to be
sheet yet.
holier than thou, where you have liquor licenses and amendments being done to suit particular people, and the Aam Aadmi Party is still in denial mode. I want to ask, is campaigning really a fundamental lie, or is it for the enforcement directorate to put up its case and let the honorable courts decide? Who are you and me or anybody to decide in this particular case? The bail is given. If it's given by the courts. BJP has no role to play. We are only bringing to light the corruption in the Aam Aadmi Party, where whether it's a Sanjay Singh, a Manish Sisodia or an Arvind Kejriwal, you have ample times that the ED tried to reach out to Mr. Kejriwal. He sat on his high horse, tried to use this kind of political insulation where he did not come for 9 hearings, and then we know what transpired. I want to only say nobody is above the law, and our Honorable Prime Minister is not on a witch hunt, contrary to what the AAP is projecting. It is for the Honorable Courts to decide whether bail should be given or not, and to be given to somebody who is in cahoots with Khalistani terror organizations and has received this kind of colossal funding. I think that is the main question.
Well, to say cahoots right now, I think is really, it's not something that can be stated like in this manner. But Huda Zariwala, your response, and then we'll wrap this.
Well, I just have to say this, that when the witnesses who were turned approvers later on did not have Kejriwalji's name in all the initial 9 statements, and then suddenly in the 10th one, when they give up a huge sum in the electoral bonds, suddenly Arvind Kejriwalji becomes an accused. Suddenly, summons after summons are being sent to him. And Arvind Kejriwalji kept asking in all those summons if he's in fact being called either as a witness or as somebody who is an accomplice to the crime. I mean, none of those queries were answered by the ED. Let us also not forget that the PMLA law under which the ED is acting is a draconian law. The ED is acting on the behest of the BJP, because we do know that so many other cases of allegations are, being put out there due to the electoral bond routes. But none of them, none of those are being questioned by the ED. So we all know how this one ends. We all know that this is a clear-cut case of political vendetta. This is a witch hunt at its highest. And also, the entire political machinery is being misused by the BJP. This is not going to turn in favor when the voters finally cast their votes, and when the results are out on the 4th of June, the entire India Gadbandhan is stronger than ever. And we are going to see the results. We we're
All
going to
right,
see the
many,
public mandate
many
on the 4th of
points
June.
you've made, many
Maybe-
allegations you've made there. So I have to allow
maybe
Shaina MC the last word. Yes, Shaina, go ahead. Last word to you quickly. We'll wrap this.
Gargi,
Yes.
this is the first time in the history of India, after 10 years, you don't have an anti-incumbency, you have a pro-incumbency. Because on the one hand, you have a man on a mission, and the rest, you have this India alliance, which is on destruction. They have nothing concrete to talk about,
India Gathbandhan.
nothing concrete, whether
India
it is
bloc.
on the issue of corruption or whether it's on the issue of development. The Prime Minister, on the other hand, has delivered on every juncture, and the 60 crore Labhartis will decide the fate of India. And on 4th of June, let me please tell you, we'll be celebrating a historic Viksit Bharat in the days
let
to
the
come,
4th of June
where there
decide
is
that.
no place for political insulation and corruption.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you both for joining us on the program. The Supreme Court will be taking up this matter of Arvind Kejriwal's bail plea tomorrow. Today, the Enforcement Directorate, they're putting in an affidavit opposing it and saying this is not some sort of fundamental or a constitutional or even legal right to campaign. With that, we'll slip into a short break. More news coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
I pledge to vote. This is the only relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. It is the only way to hold or reward people or penalize them on the governance they have given. It is a centerpiece of our democratic architecture. We have a right which we must exercise.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Before hearing, the Enforcement Directorate opposes Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's bail, says campaigning not a fundamental or constitutional right. Karnataka sex tape horror. The JDS submits a memorandum to the governor demanding a fair probe, accusing a Deputy Chief Minister DKS of leaking videos. DKS says not a fool to leak these videos. In the Haryana crisis, is there another twist imminent? Is the JJP headed for a split? Can Dushyant Chautala keep his flock together after some of his MLAs meet former Chief Minister ML Khattar? Bhupinder Hooda pushes for president's rule. And in the Air India Express row, the deadline to join work ends. Air India Express employees meet with the Labour Commissioner, demand their colleagues be reinstated. 30 staffers sacked so far, 86 flights cancelled.
Hello everyone. I urge each one of you to exercise your right to vote. Your voice matters, and all our votes shape our collective future. Let us make democracy stronger by going out and exercising our franchise. Jai Hind.
The 18th Lok Sabha elections. As always, NDTV has its ear to the ground.
With the biggest pie of 80 seats, all eyes will be on Uttar Pradesh.
Will the Troika ensure the Modi umbrella unites all?
It is the first election in Naya Kashmir since the scrapping of Article 370.
Will the same number of lotuses bloom in the desert, or can Gehlot lend a helping hand to India?
With BJP having Max here with the only pillar standing of Chhindwara fall.
Can Didi once again withstand the saffron tide? Will BJP stay strong in its northeast bastion?
Jhadu ka jadoo or Modi magic? Can Congress gain lost ground in Punjab?
Will Revanth Reddy be able to increase the Congress strength in Telangana this time? And in Andhra Pradesh, will the Jagannath be able to stop Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan?
Can BJP win back its only stronghold in the south?
Or will it be a Congress consolidation?
Can BJP make a dent in the Dravidian den?
The 2024 Lok Sabha polls are crucial for the future of this country. Having covered elections for 35 years, I hope to cut through the cacophony of a long, hot summer campaign and help to understand and decode the issues, the challenges, and finally, the outcome.
After 5 years, we are again getting an opportunity to exercise our right to vote. This is a right which has been earned after a very long and hard struggle by our great leaders. We must not waste this opportunity. I have pledged that I will vote. I have appealed to all my family members and friends to come out and vote for the development of our great nation.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app now.
Welcome back. The Air India Express terminated the employment of at least 30 cabin crew members in a response to nearly 300 employees calling in sick, leading to the cancellation of 85 flights and substantial inconvenience for passengers. And now the latest talks took place between the union, Labour Commissioner and airlines, and these have extended beyond 2 hours. Let's go across to Vishnu to find out more. And Vishnu, the crew have also demanded that their colleagues who have been sacked should be reinstated.
Yeah, that's right. So those are basically the two main developments which have taken place in the last couple of hours. Talks between the Chief Labour Commissioner, the union of the airline and these employees have now gone on for more than 2 hours. It's being monitored by the Civil Aviation Ministry very closely. And what we are led to understand is that those who have been, the Air India cabin crew who have not turned up at work and who retain their jobs say that we will continue to be on strike until such time as the 30-odd colleagues of theirs or former colleagues who've been terminated by the airline are not brought back into the airline. So their thing is very clear that, look, we are going to remain on this protest until such time as all of those people who you have retrenched are also brought back. The union has, in perhaps a somewhat more conciliatory manner, said that, look, please do take back these workers and let's work towards getting the airline fully operational. But every day that the airline doesn't operate, then it results in dozens of flights being cancelled. 85 flights cancelled today, thousands of passengers inconvenienced for the second consecutive day. There is a lot of pressure to get some sort of an agreement sorted out so that the airline can function again. Will the airline, Air India Express, take back these workers, and will these workers, cabin crew workers, accept the new terms of the contract which they've been given by their new management?
All right. Thanks so much, Vishnu, for joining us there with the latest. And now let's shift focus to the crisis in Haryana, where there have been fast-paced political moves. 3 to 4 JJP MLAs have met with the former Chief Minister of Haryana, BJP leader Khattar, and this as Chautala is seeking a floor test. So can Dushyant Chautala really keep his flock together, given that a few of his MLAs are in touch with the BJP? And will there be a floor test? Also demands by the Congress for President's rule. Well, let's go across to Gurpreet Chinna now for more. And Gurpreet, so what is the latest that you're hearing?
Well, we have seen this political crisis has already entered in second day, and today we have seen since morning a lot of political activities happening. First, the JJP Neta Dushyant Chautala, he has written a letter to governor saying that the government is not in a majority and there is need to hold a floor test. After that, we have seen the former Chief Minister of Haryana, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, he has spoken on this issue and he says he's ready to go for the floor test, and for that they have already sought an appointment from Haryana governor. Now, a few minutes back, we have seen new twist has already come up. What we have learned from the sources, some of the JJP MLAs, they held a meeting with the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, in Panipat, where they had discussed and chalked out a new strategy. So that is the question which every politician here in Haryana he is raising at this point of time. Will the JJP be able to keep a flock together, because they have a big number, 10 numbers of MLA in the pocket of JJP. And if we can see the mathematics of this whole political scenario in the state of Haryana, we can easily understand the BJP has a 40 MLA of its own and 3 independent MLAs are supporting. As of now, the BJP has 43 MLAs in their pocket and they need 2 more MLA to reach and to match that magic number, that is 45. At the same time, if we can talk about Congress, Congress has 30 MLAs and JJP has 10 MLAs and total 40. And if we can talk about other opposition leaders, whether INLD and other netas, if they are going to be get united, after that very easily they will be able to reach and match this 45 magic figure. So let's see that how both the leaders, whether the BJP, Congress, JJP, they will be able to make sure that all the netas will be on one side, and whether the JJP, Congress will be able to topple the state government in Haryana or not, because the BJP Chief Minister is quite confident. He says we have our numbers. So let's see that how in the coming days this political whole scenario, political crisis is going to be unfolded. Back to studio.
All right, Gurpreet, and currently as it stands, the government in a minority. Thanks so much for joining us as we continue to track all those twists and turns taking place in Haryana. With that, we'll slip into a short break. More news coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
This show isn't just about news from the southern states. It's one that looks at the rest of India and the world from a diverse South India point of view, because NDTV has always taken the southern view seriously.
The Southern View with Veera Raghav, only on NDTV 24/7.
I do hope all of you are going to go out and cast your vote, and especially the youth of the country. And the youth and the corporate citizens, people who work in our urban centers and companies. You know, we are the, in many ways, we actually are the generation which is going to build the country. So I do hope all of you get out and vote. It is not just our responsibility, but it's also our core participation in building the future country of our dreams. And I am today pledging to vote. My vote is in Punjab on 1st June. So I'm pledging here to vote, and I do hope all of you do the same. So I'm going to just sign this pledge to vote.
The biggest carnival of democracy, India's general election.
Prime Minister Modi makes a formidable bid for a hat-trick.
The opposition is trying to mount a united challenge.
And the southern parties are standing their ground.
As battle lines are drawn,
join us on an exciting journey on the road to 2024.
Welcome back. News now from Tamil Nadu, where once again there has been an explosion in Shivakasi at a fireworks factory where 8 people have been killed, 12 people have been injured. Let's go across to Sam Daniel now for more. And Sam, you've covered so many of these accidents and explosions at Shivakasi, and now yet another one in which 8 people have been killed.
That's right, Gargi, another tragic development, and this is again from a licensed fireworks manufacturing unit near Shivakasi. Authorities say there could have been friction caused during the mixing of explosives at this unit, which could have triggered fire and ultimately an explosion, which has killed a total of 8 people, including 5 women workers. And at least 12 others have suffered injuries, and they are being treated for burn injuries. And investigation is underway. Visuals show tragic scenes there, injured people being taken on a wheelbarrow, and minor explosions continuing even as rescuers cautiously move towards those cottages blown away by the impact of the explosion. And in fact, there's been a series of similar explosions, Gargi, over the last few years at Shivakasi. To name a few, in the year 2023, last year, in the month of May, 27 people altogether died in a series of explosions. On the 1st of May this year, 3 people were killed in an explosion near a stone quarry in Virudhunagar. And over the last few years, particularly in the run-up to the Diwali festival, a series of such explosions take place. Experts blame it on deploying large number of people who have no training nor knowledge about how chemicals react, and that's one reason they say this continues to be recur. Secondly, they say there are many blatant violations. For instance, only half a kilo of explosives can be handled at any point in time in any of these independent cottages in these units, but during rush season they even use 60 kilos at a time. That's why when things go wrong, the impact is so severe, so many people get killed, authorities say, experts say. And now they want the government to take this seriously, not to look at this as a routine tragedy, but to approach this in a scientific way, conduct a safety audit in each and every one of these fireworks units in Shivakasi, so that they can understand what went wrong and they can scientifically approach this to make sure these places will be a safe place to work for thousands of people who depend on this for their livelihood. Gargi.
That's right. Shivakasi, a town known for the fireworks industry and matchboxes as well. Thanks so much, Sam, for joining us. So yet another tragedy taking place there, a fire breaking out, and 8 people have been killed. Moving on to news now, and the Ministry of External Affairs has spoken on the Nijjar killing that took place in Canada, in which 3 Indians were arrested, and the MEA has said that no specific or relevant evidence has been shared by Canada with India on the killing of Nijjar, and that the Indians arrested, that Canada has informed us of this regard. Let's just listen into what the MEA said.
We have been informed that 3 people have been arrested and they happen to be Indian national. That is what we have been told. No specific or relevant evidence or information has been shared by the Canadian authorities in regard to this particular matter till date with us. You will therefore understand our view that the matter is being prejudged when people say X or Y. Obviously, there are political interests at work. We have long maintained that separatists, extremists and those advocating violence have been given political space in Canada.
All right, so do remember, ties between India and Canada have been strained now for months after Canada accused India. In fact, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau himself accused an Indian hand in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was killed in Canada. And recently, 3 Indians were also arrested for the killing. However, India has maintained that they have, no information, have denied these allegations by Canada. And now the MEA, they're saying that no specific or relevant evidence has been shared, as Canada has been saying again and again that they want India to also investigate this entire matter. Let's go across to Ghazali for more. And Ghazali, once again, the MEA saying that no specific or relevant evidence has been shared with by Canada with India regarding the killing of Nijjar.
See, during the briefing, the MEA spokesperson spoke about two relevant issues. One, about the killing of Nijjar and how Canada has been defending or sort of accusing India's involvement in it after the arrest of 3 Indian nationals. So one, regarding the Indian nationals who have been arrested, the MEA spokesperson clarified that no consular access or anything regarding his arrest has been discussed, though Canadian authorities did inform India about the arrest of 3 Indian nationals. Now, whether these 3 Indian nationals have sought any consular access or not, this was not shared by the MEA spokesperson here. As far as the larger or the broader issue is concerned, regarding Canada repeatedly accusing India for its involvement in Nijjar's killing, the MEA spokesperson once again said that perhaps Canada has not shared any specific intel or kind of evidence to show that India is involved in that. As far as Canada's allegations are concerned, the spokesperson said that talks continue between the two countries, wherein India stresses that how Canada has given a space to the people with extremist ideologies who are a threat to the Indian diplomats, who keep issuing threats to Indian politicians, and perhaps which is something the Canadian authorities should take note of. So as far as this entire issue of Khalistan is concerned, or people with extremist ideology is concerned, who are based in Canada and they keep sort of fomenting trouble or talk anti-India stuff from the Canadian soil, MEA spokesperson clarified that this has been conveyed multiple times to their Canadian counterpart, that Canada should rein in on such elements, which if not, then it will impact Indo-Canadian relations as well.
All right. Thanks so much, Ghazali, for joining us with those details. News now from Jammu and Kashmir, where the National Investigation Agency has cracked down and attached 4 more terror-linked properties. Now the NI has attached 6 properties of banned JEM, the banned JEM outfit and people, connected to the JEM. Let's go across to Nazir now for more. And Nazir, give us more details. And NI cracked down 4 properties, terror properties attached.
Yeah, exactly. And it's part of the ongoing offensive against militancy, separatism, narcotics smuggling from across the border, and weapons smuggling. And in this case, NIA has today attached 4 properties. They are in Karna area, which is near the line of control in Kupwara district. And 4 individuals who own these properties, 2 are immovable properties, 2 vehicles, and 2 residential houses in Karna area of Kupwara district. According to NIA, these properties were built after actually these properties are the produce of this terror produce, funding produce and narcotics produce. These people have been involved in smuggling of weapons and narcotics as well, and they were then giving it to further passing it on to militants. So it's clear that it's not just about encounters where militants are being killed who pick up guns, but security agencies, NIA, are reaching to those who are actually getting weapons for them, getting drugs, spreading drugs here, and actually taking them to task. They are sending a message, look, you will not get away with this if you try to get weapons from Pakistan, get narcotics and make money, build homes, and we are going to come after you. So 4 more properties have been today seized by the NIA, and according to NIA, these people were involved in narcotics and arms smuggling and have links with the militants as well.
Right, Nazir, thanks so much for joining us. So an NI crackdown there, and 4 terror properties have been attached. News now from Karnataka on the sex tape horror, and JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy met with the governor of Karnataka today in connection with the sex tapes involving his nephew and JDS MP Prajwal Revanna. and alleged that the SIT isn't transparently investigating the matter. The former Chief Minister led a delegation to the Governor's house. Kumaraswamy accused Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DKS of a conspiracy and claimed that over 25,000 pen drives containing sex videos were distributed before polling took place. The JDS and Congress have locked horns over who leaked this sex video. Let's go across to Pratibha now for more. And Pratibha, so the JDS, they're hitting back over the leakage of these sex tapes, and this is something even activists have spoken about, how these sex tapes involving hundreds of women were leaked out to the public. So this is the new course in this entire drama. Meanwhile, we're still waiting to find out when Prajwal Revanna will return.
Yes, there are two dimensions to this case. One, you have the entire controversial videos revolving around the first family of the JDS. On the other hand, you need to find out who was responsible for leaking these controversial videos, unmindful of the identity of the victims as well as their faces. And this has become a political flashpoint between the JDS as well as the Congress, each one pointing fingers at each other. While the Congress has been setting up the special investigation team and talking about this entire controversy revolving around the Revanna family, the JDS has been training its guns against the Congress, talking about how Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister, Mr DK Shivakumar, is the man responsible for leaking those videos in the first place. However, this charge has been denied vehemently by DK Shivakumar, claiming that it is but the attitude of the JDS that needs to be questioned, mainly because of these controversial videos. Also talking about how HD Kumarasamy is the king of blackmailers. These are some of the statements that we've picked up from the DK Shivakumar camp. But in the meantime, the JDS president, national president, as well as the state president, who have been distancing themselves from the family of Revanna. And in fact, I'm standing right outside the city civil court where the bail hearing of HD Revanna took place. The case has been adjourned to Monday. All eyes are on whether HD Revanna would secure his bail, because currently he is in judicial custody, and also eyes are on Prajwal Revanna. Where is he? When will he return to India? Back to you.
Right, Pratibha, let's just listen into what HD Kumaraswamy had to say earlier.
Without taking proper step, without doing any fair inquiry, the way in which they are conducting the inquiry from last 5-6 days, from 21st to April 21st, what this government and government representatives and Congress, what they have done by circulating the pen drives. Then what are the developments after that? How they are taken action against the persons who distributed the pen drives. How they silent about those people. Everything we briefed him. We requested him to request the central government to conduct a fair inquiry from central government.
And in an exclusive interview to NDTV, Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar hit out and said it's absurd to accuse him of leaking the videos. He said not a fool to leak those videos.
We have with us Deputy CM of Karnataka, Mr DK Shivakumar. Sir, now that the elections are over in Karnataka, what are the prospects of the Congress here?
Congress will win a comfortable more than 20 seats in Karnataka. We are very happy that the entire party, the voters of Karnataka, felt that we have promised whatever we have promised, we have delivered. And better than the assembly election, I am confident this election will go through.
So one of the biggest election controversies has also been the Prajwal Revanna case, with allegations against you saying that you could have been responsible for leaking the videos.
I am not a fool or I am not a mad. I am no way connected to it. It is their blunder, it is their hit wicket. And you know what the Chief Minister has spoken, the former Chief Minister has spoken. I am no way connected to it. And it is all their own blunder what they have made themselves. Why see, we do politics in a straight way. We not, but instead of speaking all these things, the BJP knew everything, he knew everything, Kumar Swamy, they would have protected their own, this one. They are putting onus on. In what way we are connected? In what way we are no way connected? Already Kumar Swamy said that it is his, he doesn't have, he distanced himself from his father and his brother. Now why is he speaking on this? It is all his own. He is the actor, he is the director, he is the distributor.
So are you worried about the political fallout because the JDS is targeting you?
No, naturally, because they feel I am a threat to them. They feel that they are a threat to them. They naturally target whom? They can't target people who goes on the street. More the strong, more the enemies. Less strong, less enemies. No strong, no enemies.
So was the Congress aware of these allegations, sir?
We are not aware of these allegations. We never knew about this. We never knew. Let them do whatever they make. It is the BJP and them. They are the partners. Let them do whatever they want.
Thank you so much, sir. That was Mr. D.K. Shivakumar talking about the allegations against him of leaking the videos, saying that it is definitely not the Congress that was aware of these allegations earlier. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
With that, time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, Home Minister Amit Shah campaigning in Telangana. Stay with us.
दुनिया के सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र का वो चुनाव जो देश और दुनिया को बदलने की ताकत रखता है। सरकार बनाएंगे करीब 100 करोड़ लोग, जिससे तय होंगे पीएम, पॉलिसी और फ्यूचर। इस सबसे बड़े चुनाव की बड़ी बातों को डिकोड करने के लिए मेरे साथ होंगे देश के जाने माने एक्सपर्ट्स। देश के चुनिंदा शहरों से एनडीटीवी की सबसे बड़ी पेशकश बैटल ग्राउंड देखिए मेरे साथ सिर्फ एनडीटीवी पर, क्योंकि चुनाव मतलब एनडीटीवी।
After 5 years, we are again getting an opportunity to exercise our right to vote. This is a right which has been earned after a very long and hard struggle by our great leaders. We must not waste this opportunity. I have pledged that I will vote. I have appealed to all my family members and friends to come out and vote for the development of our great nation.
And dust of politics, perspective should not get lost. Watch me decipher hard politics through an academic lens, only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
आईपीएल का हल्ला बल्ला और सबसे शानदार कवरेज सिर्फ एनडीटीवी पर।
The 18th Lok Sabha elections. As always, NDTV has its ear to the ground. With the biggest pie of 80 seats, all eyes will be on Uttar Pradesh.
Will the Troika ensure the Modi umbrella unites all?
It is the first election in Naya Kashmir since the scrapping of Article 370.
Will the same number of lotuses bloom in the desert, or can Gehlot lend a helping hand
to India.
With BJP having Max here with the only pillar standing of Chhindwara fall.
Can Didi once again withstand the saffron tide? Will BJP stay strong in its northeast bastion?
झाड़ू का जा
Welcome back. Union Minister Amit Shah hit out at the Owasis, AIMIM, BRS and the Congress over appeasement politics in Telangana. He also raised the vote for jihad versus vote for welfare charge against the Congress party. Meanwhile, in Raebareli, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra targeted Hyderabad MP and AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, accusing him of working directly with the BJP.
भाई और बहनों, कांग्रेस, मजलिस और बीआरएस ये तीनों अपीसमेंट का ट्रायंगल है। ये लोग रामनवमी का जुलूस नहीं निकलने देते हैं। ये लोग हैदराबाद विमोचन दिन नहीं मनाने देते हैं। ये लोग सीएए का विरोध करते हैं। ये लोग यहाँ पर शरिया के आधार पर, कुरान के आधार पर तेलंगाना चलाना चाहते हैं।
मैं बार बार आपको यही कह रही हूँ, असदुद्दीन ओवैसी जी सीधा सीधा भाजपा के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। जहाँ जहाँ भाजपा को जरूरत है कि वो किसी को खड़ा कर दे, बाकी पार्टियों को पीछे रखने के लिए वो कर रहे हैं। ये बात बहुत स्पष्ट हो गई है। तेलंगाना के चुनाव में ये बात बहुत स्पष्ट हो गई है।
And Telangana Chief Minister, in an exclusive interview to NDTV, he spoke on the Amit Shah fake video case, saying why is the Ministry of Home Affairs intervening in a political case. He also said how the BJP got the most money via electoral bonds and that over corruption the BJP has no leg to stand on.
आप एकमात्र एक स्टार कैंपेनर ऑलमोस्ट इन अक्रॉस तेलंगाना आप हैं। बाहर के जो भी नेता अगर हम नहीं काउंट करें तो आप पर दिल्ली पुलिस ने इल्ज़ाम लगाया है कि आप फेक वीडियो बनाने में या उसको प्रोपेगेट करने में आपकी भूमिका है और जो मुद्दा था वो रिजर्वेशन का था।
उमा जी, वो चार्ज मैं सीधा सीधा कर चुका हूँ प्राइम मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ, गृह मंत्री के खिलाफ। मैं किसी का वीडियो सहारा लेने का क्या ज़रूरत है। मैं खुद बयान दे रहा हूँ हर जलसा में कि अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस बार 400 सीट मिले तो संविधान को बदलने वाले हैं, एससी, एसटी, बीसी एंड माइनॉरिटी रिजर्वेशंस को ख़त्म करने वाले हैं। मैं सीधा आरोप लगा रहा हूँ, आपके माध्यम से भी मैं यही आरोप लगा रहा हूँ। इसका मैं कुछ एविडेंसेस दिखाया। एविडेंसेस के बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी रिएक्ट नहीं हो रहा है कि 1881 ब्रिटिशर से लेकर हर 10 साल को जनता गिनने का काम शुरू किए। आज़ादी मिलने के बाद भी 70 साल ये काम हो चुका है, मगर 2021 में क्यों नरेंद्र मोदी जी जनता आबादी गिनने का छोड़ दिए। दिस इज़ पॉइंट नंबर 1। पॉइंट नंबर 2, 2000 अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट करने के लिए जस्टिस वेंकटाचल कमीशन डाला था। वो कमीशन के रिपोर्ट कहाँ पर है। तीसरी बात, 2015 अनंत कुमार हेगड़े यूनियन कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हैज़ मेड ए स्टेटमेंट, वो लोग संविधान को बदलने वाले हैं। 2019 सुमित्रा महाजन लोकसभा स्पीकर थी, रिजर्वेशन रद्द करने के लिए बात किए थे।
BJP has denied it. You have been saying this in every meeting.
All these leaders, sir, made their statements. Recent 4-5 days back, Mr. Dushyant Gautam, he has made it clear, yes, we are coming back and we wanted to change constitution. तो साफ एक तरफ से वो लोग कह रहे हैं उनके खिलाफ अगर कोई कार्रवाई शुरू की है तो मोदी जी, अमित भाई ने, हम लोग इनके बात को हम यकीन कर सकते। जो बयान देने वाले देते जा रहे, आप वो उल्टा बोल रहे, अब हमारे ऊपर इल्ज़ाम लगा रहे। आपके खुद के पार्टी में क्या हो रहा है, पहले वो कंट्रोल करो।
एक तरह से पॉलिटिक्स तो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है और उनका कहना है कि आप पैसा बटोल रहे हैं और दिल्ली भेज रहे हैं उसके लिए, इलेक्शन के लिए यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट से ले रहे हैं, बाकी जो भी उद्योगपति आपके पास आते हैं आप उनसे पैसे बटोल रहे हैं।
तो मैं एक सवाल करूं, अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स कुछ कम 8,000 करोड़ रुपए मिल चुका है, वो किसने दिया हुआ है? यही कॉर्पोरेट कंपनीज ने दिया हुआ है ना। हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को कोई ना कोई कंपनी वाले चुनाव के लिए कुछ चंदा देते, दैट इज कॉल्ड फंड्स, दैट इज़ नॉट करप्शन, दैट इज़ नॉट एनी अदर थिंग्स। अगर ये बात अगर चर्चा पे लेना है तो 1500 करोड़ TRS has got electoral bonds. Narendra Modi ji has got almost 8,000 crores electoral bonds. तो पूरा electoral bonds के बारे में अब लोकसभा शुरू होते ही बहस लगा दो, हम चर्चा करेंगे, नहीं तो सीधा सीधा हम चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है। इस देश में कोई पार्टी का अध्यक्ष ना जागीरदार ना जमींदार नहीं है, या नहीं है तो कॉरपोरेट कंपनी का CEO भी नहीं है, पार्टी का अध्यक्ष है। हर राजनीति, हर नेता जब चुनाव लड़ना है तो किसी से मदद मांगकर चुनाव लड़ रहा है। ये कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए लिमिट नहीं है। तो इसीलिए अगर बहस करना है तो हम लोग तैयार हैं। अभी लोकसभा शुरू करो और इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स के बारे में हम चर्चा करेंगे। कौन सी कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी वाले जिसको क्विड प्रो को में क्या मिला है, हम पूरा डिटेल देंगे। वो लिकर स्कैम में जो केजरीवाल को 100 करोड़ रुपए कैश दिया बोल के जिसके ऊपर आरोप है, वो लोग कितने हंड्रेड्स ऑफ करोड़ इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स भारतीय जनता पार्टी को दिया हुआ है, सबसे सारे बहस करेंगे लोकसभा में।
All right, let's switch focus now to the markets. And it was a terrible Thursday for the markets. Today, the BSE Sensex and Nifty 50 plunged in trade as bears went on a rampage on the Lal Street. BSE Sensex crashed over 1,000 points. Nifty 50 settling below the 22,000 mark. Agam Vakil with all the details.
It was a tough day of trade for everyone who was long in Indian equity markets because the key benchmark, the Nifty 50, lost out on the 22,000 level. In fact, it closed well below that mark today. And the reason why that particular level is important is because the first phase of polling for this ongoing general election began on the 19th of April, and that was also around the level at which the Nifty closed today, which means that the Nifty in this period made a new lifetime high and then retraced by well over 3% in the same time. Why is this happening? Well, there certainly is a lot of nervousness with respect to not just the earnings season, but potentially the outcome of the general elections. Remember that every time we move into a period of general elections, there is increased volatility, and this perhaps is just one of those instances where we have seen a sharp spike in volatility and has also led to a little bit of weakness. It remains to be seen whether or not we do in fact see some sort of recovery over the course of the next few weeks, but at the moment a lot of market participants are certainly becoming a little bit more nervous with respect to several of these factors. In today's day of trade, a lot of the weakness was on account of heavyweight companies like HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries, as well as something like Larsen & Toubro. And once again, we're going to keep an eye on these very companies to perhaps see some sort of recovery going in. For now, markets remain weak, and it's a wait and watch in this one.
All right, with that, time for us to slip into a short break. News updates continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
I have been casting my vote from the age of 18, and I encourage everyone to cast the vote rightly, judiciously, so that we have democratic excellence in India, leading to the positive outcomes and taking us towards a Sunehra Kal and Amrit Kal, which is the need of the hour.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Express route deadline to join work ends, and after management sacks 30, the staff is adamant, refuses to return till the staff is reinstated.
I pledge to vote and encourage all my colleagues at Godrej Industries Limited and associate companies to exercise their voting rights. It's the essence of democracy, and we stand firmly behind it. I would also urge everyone else to vote. We are thrilled to join NDTV's pledge to vote campaign and help spread the word in the corporate world and beyond. It's the essence of democracy, and we stand firmly behind it. We are thrilled to join NDTV's pledge.
It's the world's biggest festival of the power of a vote and the power of a citizen.
It is a day we must answer our call to duty as citizens of India.
We get this opportunity to determine how our country will be governed.
It is this constitutional duty through which we can make a difference in our nation's future.
And make India always a better place than it was yesterday.
I certainly plan to vote as long as I'm able to vote.
We are joining NDTV's Pledge to Vote initiative.
Let us make democracy stronger by going out and exercising our franchise. Jai Hind.
Data drives our understanding of any election. What does a dip in voting percentage mean? What are the big factors to watch out for this poll season? Join me, Amitav Tiwari, in a data deep dive only on NDTV, where we decode and simplify the data for you.
The biggest carnival of democracy, India's general election.
Prime Minister Modi makes a formidable bid for a hat-trick.
The opposition is trying to mount a united challenge.
And the southern parties are standing their ground.
As battle lines are drawn,
Join us on an exciting journey on the road to 2024.
Good evening and welcome to NDTV. I'm Ankit Tyagi, quickly taking you to the headlines we're tracking at 6 p.m. Day before hearing, Enforcement Directorate opposes Arvind Kejriwal's bail, says campaigning not fundamental constitutional right. Enforcement Directorate files affidavit in the Supreme Court. Amid crisis in Haryana, is the JJP headed for a split? Dushyant Chautala seeks floor test. His MLAs meet the BJP. Bhupender Hooda of the Congress pushes for President's rule. Politics over Karnataka sex tapes. JDS demands CBI probe. Writes to Governor. Kumaraswamy accuses Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of conspiracy. DK Shivakumar, meanwhile, hits back, speaks to NDTV, says not a fool to leak these videos. 8 killed, 12 injured in massive fire in Shivakasi, Tamil Nadu. Fire after explosion at fireworks factory in the cracker capital of the country. Air India Express crisis continues. Deadline to join work ends. Air India Express employees meet Labour Commissioner. Reinstate colleagues is the first demand. Huge controversy over Sandesh Kali allegations. A woman withdraws complaint, says local BJP leaders forced me to sign blank papers. TMC moves poll body against BJP's Shubhendu Adhikari. Ministry of External Affairs stern response on Niger killing. No specific evidence shared by Canada. Last 3-4 days have been a lot of political turmoil in the state of Haryana, and fast-paced political moves are now, in fact, taking place for the BJP to save its government, while the opposition, both the Congress and the JJP, join chorus to try and push the government out. Now, sources are telling us that 3 to 4 JJP MLAs have met former Chief Minister Khattar. In fact, Chautala, the leader of the party, Dushyant Chautala, former Deputy Chief Minister, has in fact asked for a floor test. He has written a letter to the governor of Haryana. In fact, at this moment, I'm being joined live and exclusive at this moment on a phone line by Mr. Dushyant Chautala. He's the leader, in fact, of the JJP, the president, and also the former deputy chief minister. So thank you for speaking to us. We are talking at a time, Mr. Chautala, when Haryana is in political uncertainty as far as the government is concerned. You have demanded a floor test, sir, but in the meanwhile, reports coming in that 3 to 4 MLAs of your party have met former Chief Minister Mr. Khattar.
Only they can meet whoever they want to. But till the time we have the numbers and then we have the whip of the party to get together on one line and vote in the assembly, we all 10 have to vote under the directions of the whip. And today we are very clear. We have written to the governor. We have made it very clear to the governor in terms of the numbers that are there in the Haryana Assembly, that still out of 90, 88 MLAs are there. 3 independent MLAs who were supporting BJP have given their support to the Congress. 2 MLAs, when the new Chief Minister took oath, have resigned from their MLAship. And now the number that BJP has is below the majority line. So now the government has the power under the constitution. Those powers can ask the sitting government to show their strength on the floor.
Right.
And once the floor strength is asked for, all 10 MLAs of our party will have to vote as directed by the bill. We have seen similar cases,
right,
either be in Parliament or be in Himachal, that people had to follow. Or if they do not follow, then their membership will also be washed.
But sir, are you in touch with all of your 9 MLAs? Because if 4 to 5 MLAs or 3 to 4 MLAs are speaking to Mr. Khattar, it seems that there is at least some sort of a bid or to try and split your party.
I don't need to worry about who is going where and who is meeting whom today. It is the time where we have to go on the floor of the House and test if Mr. Saini has the numbers today or not.
Are you sure, sir? I mean, we have seen BJP. Are you worried that your party can split?
If there has to be a floor test, 30 MLAs are with Congress, 10 are with JJP, 1 is INLD, 1 Mr. Kundu is independent, and 3 other independent MLAs have given their support. The number become 45, which is above the 44 mark.
Sure.
And I think if the opposition gets together, we can always have a floor test on this.
Sir, I understand that there is a whip, and of course, after that whip, if any MLAs goes against that whip, he can be disqualified or she can be disqualified. But on the larger picture, are you worried that your party may split, sir?
See, if somebody has to, this is the time of elections. It is a time of elections. People will switch parties, but the state will come to know. If somebody has it in his mind that they want to switch parties, let it come out to people in public. Who knows, BJP sitting MLAs also would switch sides.
Mr. Chautala, you've been a partner of the Bharatiya Janata Party. You've been a partner of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Deputy Chief Minister in the government as well. Do you think, I mean, personally, would you take it personally if your party is split and the BJP tries to take away your MLAs?
Then the people of Haryana will come to know what is happening today and how BJP is functioning. If somebody goes to a political party and his membership is gone, it's his way. He can resign from the party if he wants to switch sides.
Right. In last question, sir, what do you see immediately happening after now? You have written to the governor. Has there been any response from the governor as far as the floor test is concerned?
Congress has asked the governor for time. Let's see when the governor gives time and what issues are discussed. And if there is a date fixed for floor test, we are ready.
And has there been any strategy or word around the opposition parties? Are all opposition parties together in this?
See, I have not seen INLD or Mr. Kundu or other people coming up, but through media only I have seen Congress has seek time from the governor. Let's see what issue the Congress has seek time on. we have written it to the governor very clearly on all points, how the strengths are there and what needs to be done today under the constitutional powers the governor has.
How will this impact the Lok Sabha election, sir, whatever is happening in Haryana right now?
I think it will impact for good.
Do you see the BJP tally going down?
God knows. I can assure you that that 400 mark which was announced might be reduced to 200 now.
Mr. Dushyant Chautala, appreciate, sir. Thank you so much for giving us the time and speaking to us here on NDTV. In fact, his party is going to play an important role. His party played an important role with the BJP in the government. And now, of course, whatever happens to the MLAs, those who have been talking to the Bharatiya Janata Party, he's already said any MLA, if he chooses to defy the whip of the party, as he has decided that all 10, including himself, are going to vote against. If there is a floor test against the BJP government, then of course there will be action, there will be disqualification. But at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, fast-paced developments are taking place as far as Haryana is concerned. So that was JJP Chief Mr. Dushyant Chautala speaking to us here on NDTV. All right, moving on now, the Ministry of External Affairs has spoken on the Nijjar killing issue related to Canada. They have said that no specific or relevant evidence has been shared by Canadians with the government of India. Indians arrested in Canada with regard to killing of Mr. Nijjar. In fact, the Canada has confirmed to us regarding these arrests. As far as the consular access is concerned, different countries have different norms. It is not suo motu that if someone is arrested, then he will be given consular access. In fact, MEA has also sent a stern response on this issue. They have said that no specific evidence has been shared by Canada and matter is being prejudged. Canada is giving space to extremists, is what the Ministry of External Affairs in India has said.
We have been informed that 3 people have been arrested and they happen to be Indian national. That is what we have been told. No specific or relevant evidence or information has been shared by the Canadian authorities in regard to this particular matter till date with us. You will therefore understand our view that the matter is being prejudged when people say X or Y. Obviously, there are political interests at work. We have long maintained that separatists, extremists, and those advocating violence have been given political space in Canada.
Mohammad Ghazali, my colleague, is now joining us with more details on this. Mohammad Ghazali, this could be as straight, conversation or at least a message that can be sent to Canada.
Yeah, repeatedly the same statement or same messaging has been done by the MEA, and even today it was told to Canada that perhaps it is giving much space to those with extremist ideology, those people who keep threatening Indian officials, Indian diplomats, as well as Indian politicians on Canadian soil. As far as those 3 Indian nationals who have been arrested in Nijjar's killing, the MEA spokesperson clarified that we were officially informed that 3 people have been arrested, but nothing beyond that. No credible evidence has been shared with Canada to back their claim that India was behind or India was involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a designated terrorist by the Indian government. And as far as the bilateral relations between India and Canada is concerned, that Mr. Spokesperson, Mr. Jaiswal, said that despite all these issues emerging between the 2 countries, talks continue, but Indian authorities keep reiterating and stress upon that Canada should rein in such elements, else the India-Canada relations will also take a hit if this continues to be the same.
Right, Mohammad Ghazali, my colleague there, in fact, reporting on this story that we are tracking very, very closely. Moving on now, with the Supreme Court set to decide on the interim bail for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Friday to allow him whether he can campaign for the ongoing Lok Sabha elections. The Enforcement Directorate has filed an affidavit opposing his petition and has said that laws are equal for all. Campaigning is not a fundamental constitutional or even a legal right. The probe agency, which arrested the Aam Aadmi Party chief in the Delhi liquor policy case on March 21st, has also pointed out that no political leader has ever been granted bail for campaigning, and said that letting Mr. Kejriwal out of the jail to canvass for his party candidates will set a wrong precedent. On Tuesday, remember, the Supreme Court had said that Mr. Kejriwal is the elected Chief Minister of Delhi and he is not a habitual offender.
ED filed affidavit in Supreme Court. Again, ED opposes release on interim bail by the Supreme Court. Arvind Kejriwal, for ED tells Supreme Court that the right to campaign for an election is not a fundamental right, nor it is a constitutional right, or not even it's a legal right. Also, it is said that no political leader has been given interim bail for campaigning, even though he is not constituting. Also, Supreme Court said that it will set a wrong precedent if Kejriwal is given bail. All the politicians can follow this path to get away from the law and from the arresting also, and from the judicial custody also. ED also said in its affidavit that for the since past 5 years there is 123 elections in the country, but no interim bail has been given to everybody. If interim bail is to be granted for election campaigning, then no politician can be arrested. Also kept in judicial, it will be hard for agency to kept in judicial custody since election are all year round. So ED is again opposing. Day before yesterday, when this case was going on, for ED, Solicitor Tushar Mehta appeared before the Supreme Court and opposed Kejriwal can't be given any type of interim bail for only for campaigning in the election. Also, he compared with a common man. He said a common man can't be given any kind of relief by the court. So, as Arvind Kejriwal also, although the Supreme Court was on the indicated that he is that it is thinking about the giving interim bail to Kejriwal for campaigning in the election, since it's a national election and it is a case of exception. So Friday means tomorrow is an important day for Kejriwal. Supreme Court will decide either way.
All right, with that we are slipping into a very short break. News and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
Copa. Whenever you use Gmail and you're trying to compose a new email, friends, you all know कि that section जहाँ पे हम email को compose कर रहे होते हैं वो बहुत छोटा सा होता है कई बार. It's not that convenient to draft long emails. You know what? You can use the power of Google Docs and वहाँ पे you can create your complete long emails and easily you can send them in Gmail. So basically, if you are in Google Docs, just type @email and वहाँ पे you will see this entire thing coming up जहाँ पे आप properly अपना email draft कर सकते हैं. You can add in the recipients, you can add in the subject line. आप email की body में जैसा चाहें वैसा पूरी एक proper formatting के साथ में अपना email draft कर सकते हैं. And वहीं से you can just hit a button to preview this email in Gmail and then just hit a button to send it. काफी easy and काफी convenient tip है for everyone who's using Gmail on a regular basis. Basically helping you compose longer emails in a better way within Google Docs. कैसा लगा ये tip? मुझे जरूर बताना. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Elections क्या हैं?
Election is basically a reality TV show जिससे Big Boss चुना जाता है. The biggest festival of democracy.
मेला है मेला.
हमारी आवाज.
Youth की आवाज. They make hashtags become a voting trend.
they communicate their political views with memes. They turn their real ideas into reels. Youth makes elections a lot more fun, and we have just the right election shows for them. As India goes for its 18th general elections, join me, Arun Singh, for 18 Ka Vote only on NDTV. First-time voters, share your hopes and expectations from the leaders in the form of a video message. We'll feature select videos on NDTV.
I pledge.
Election Carnival has reached the beautiful city of Nizams and Kebabs, the city of Hyderabad. And you forgot the biryani and the pearls and everything else, the cuisine of Telangana that we talk about.
तेलंगाना जो सैनिक है वो BRS पार्टी है।
क्यों घबराहट है? ये तो चुनाव है। चुनाव में तो हार जीत होता रहता है।
बातों से नहीं चलेगा। काम भी दिखाना है।
Sad news coming in from Tamil Nadu and the cracker, almost capital of this country, from Shivakasi, where another accident has taken place in which 8 people have been killed, 12 others have been injured. Now, this is the initial, in fact, estimate says that that explosion at this factory took place in Shivakasi. The investigation is underway, but once again, it tells you about the hazards of cracker making and, of course, the lack of many standards. 8 people so far have been confirmed killed, while 12 others have been injured. My colleague Sam Daniel now joins us with more details on this. Sam, it's sad, but this keeps repeating and we keep talking about the same issue again and again. What is the initial estimate as far as the agencies are concerned with what went wrong? And, what is the administration doing so that these repeated incidents can be stopped?
Police preliminary investigation, Ankit, believes friction caused during mixing of explosives could have led to this explosion, which killed 8 people. The numbers could go high, as some of them are very critical. And fire safety experts time and again urge the government to make sure they conduct a serious scientific audit of all these firecracker manufacturing units across Shivakasi to make sure the kind of safety measures in place, how seriously they're implemented, what are the violations, and how to address it scientifically so that this could be checked. They say 99% of these tragedies happen because of human error, and that they say it's largely because the thousands of people who are employed there as workers, they're not really trained in dealing with chemicals. They don't know, they don't have any knowledge about the way the chemicals work, particularly the explosives they deal with every day. For instance, they say the rule mandates they can only handle half a kilo of explosives in every single cottage at a time.
Right.
But during season times, they say they even use up to 60 kilos, and that's one reason why the devastation and the loss of life is so huge. So this requires a larger concerted effort by the government, and activists and fire safety experts hope it's time the government really takes it seriously and ensures this doesn't repeat.
Profit over people's life, it seems, at this moment by most of these fire factory or cracker factory owners. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us with all those details. Moving on to Jammu and Kashmir, where the National Investigation Agency has started a crackdown on terror in Kashmir. In fact, the NIA has attached 4 more terror-linked properties. On May 8th, the NIA attached 6 properties linked to banned JEM. Let me go across to my colleague Nazir Masoodi, who is joining us with more details. Nazir, this comes at a time when there was an attack, ambush as far as the Air Force bus, the transport vehicle is concerned. Just tell our viewers more about this entire operation which is being conducted by the NIA.
Well, this is part of an ongoing operation offensive by the NIA and other security agencies to go after those who actually sustain militancy or cross-border drug cartels. So these people, 4 people who belong to Karna area of Kupwara district, which is near the line of control, they have been accused of, getting weapons, narcotics from Pakistan, and then distributing it among militants and also spreading drugs in Jammu and Kashmir. So they are movable and immovable property, which includes 2 residential houses in Karna and 2 vehicles have been attached seized by the NIA. This is actually NIA is trying to send a message. Look, if somebody tries to become militant, picks up a gun, they get killed in encounter. But those who are behind them normally think they can get away with this, but that's not the case here. In most of the cases, after investigations, properties of those people, which is the produce of these drugs or the weapons which they get from Pakistan, that has been attached by the NI and the J&K State Investigative Agency. So this is part of that operation. You had been talking about the recent attack in Poonch on Indian Air Force convoy, in which 1 soldier was killed and 5 other Indian Air Force personnel were injured. In that case, police and the security force have released the pictures of those who are believed to be behind that attack, and they are all Pakistanis, at least 3, and that is a separate case. But in this case, this is part of a major offensive against those who actually sustain militancy and are part of the cross-border activities, who live near the line of control and take advantage of where they live, get weapons from Pakistan, get narcotics from Pakistan, and then build their property through the means of these, by selling these things. So these 4 properties have been attached by the NIA, which is part of the large offensive against such people.
Nazir, thank you for joining us with all those details. With that, we are slipping into a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. News and updates continue on NDTV. Stay tuned.
Jivika helps those women in the rural areas of Begusarai who do not have any means of income. Jivika Samu scheme, running in all 534 blocks of all 38 districts of Bihar, has changed the lives of women in Begusarai. Poverty-stricken women have become self-reliant. There are 3,33,791 Jivika Samu scheme beneficiaries in Begusarai. Onam Kumari of Rajora was in the grip of a financial crisis before becoming a Jivika Didi.
सबसे पहले घरेलू नाम से बुलाया जाता था, गांव वाली के नाम से। इसमें जुड़ने के बाद लोगों ने नामों से जानना शुरू कर दिया सबसे पहले, और मेरा आर्थिक स्थिति भी बहुत खराब थी।
Kanchan Kumari and Srishti Kumari of Ramdiri village also say that after becoming beneficiaries of the scheme, they were able to take a loan from the bank to educate their children while also improving their current financial condition.
पहले हम लोग को सब लोग जानते हैं फलना की बीबी है, फलना की पुतौ है। अब लोग जानते हैं कि हम जीविका की दीदी हैं और हमारा नाम क्या है।
मैं जीविका के बारे में पहले नहीं कुछ जानती थी, उसके बाद मैं जब जानी समझी तब जाके मैं जीविका से जुड़ने के बाद मैं लोन का प्रोसेस हुआ, लोन लेके मैं बच्ची को पढ़ाई और अपना जीवन में सुधार लाने का कोशिश किया।
Giriraj Singh further broke down the scheme and how it has transformed the lives of women in the state by way of making them self-reliant and deployment providers.
अब देश में 10 करोड़ से ऊपर दीदियों को लाखपति बनाने का निर्णय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में लिया, और बेगूसराय में नरेंद्र मोदी जब नहीं आए थे तो केवल 28,000 घरों तक हम पहुंचे थे। आज हम 3.5 लाख घरों तक पहुंचे हैं, जिसमें 1,60,000 दीदी लाखपति बन चुकी है, और मेरा विश्वास है अगले 5 साल में कोई दीदी नहीं होगी जो लाखपति नहीं रहेगी।
It's a fact that if you want to empower a family, first empower the lady of the house, and that would benefit the whole lot. And this is exactly what Giriraj Singh did in his Lok Sabha constituency, Begusarai. He picked up Jivika Didis, rural women associated with the government's self-help group called Jivika. He not only arranged additional training for them, but also linked them with banks for soft loans. And that resulted in substantial increase in their monthly income, benefiting the entire family. This is Prabhakar Kumar for NDTV.
Hope.
In the heat and dust of politics, perspective should not get lost. Watch me decipher hard politics through an academic lens. Only on NDTV.
I pledge to vote. This is the only relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. It is the only way to hold or reward people or penalize them on the governance they have given. It is a centerpiece of our democratic architecture. We have a right which we must exercise.
The 18th Lok Sabha elections. As always, NDTV has its ear to the ground. With the biggest pie of 80 seats, all eyes will be on Uttar Pradesh.
Will the Troika ensure the Modi umbrella unites all?
It is the first election in Naya Kashmir since the scrapping of Article 370.
Will the same number of lotuses bloom in the desert, or can Gehlot lend a helping hand to India?
With BJP having Max here with the only pillar standing of Chhindwara fall.
Can Didi once again withstand the saffron tide? Will BJP stay strong in its northeast bastion?
Jhadu ka jadoo or Modi magic? Can Congress gain lost ground in Punjab?
Will Revanth Reddy be able to increase the Congress strength in Telangana this time? And in Andhra Pradesh, will the Juggernaut be able to stop Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan?
Can BJP win back its only stronghold in the south? Or will it be a Congress consolidation?
Can BJP make a dent in the Dravidian den?
I have a right to decide who will run my country for the next 5 years. And for that, I need to vote. So I pledge to vote, and I encourage all my family members, all my colleagues at Hyundai Motor India, and of course, all the citizens of my great country to go ahead and vote. Vote now and vote forever.
I have been casting my vote from the age of 18, and I encourage everyone to cast the vote rightly, judiciously, so that we have democratic excellence in India, leading to the positive outcomes and taking us towards a Sunehra Kal and
This is a famous trading hub for cloth sector. This is where people like Dhirubhai in fact started out their career.
Oh, is that so?
आज मुंबई में क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्रीज है, बॉलीवुड है, एडवर्टाइजिंग इंडस्ट्री है, बट मुंबई पिछले 20-30 वर्षों में मुंबई हैज लॉस्ट मार्केट शेयर इन डिफरेंट एरियाज लाइक आईटी टू अदर सिटीज एंड अदर स्टेट्स इन द कंट्री. मुझे महाराष्ट्रियन फूड, इंडियन फूड, चाइनीज फूड, एनी काइंड्स ऑफ फूड, थाई फूड, मिडल ईस्टर्न फूड, दीज आर माय फेवरेट्स.
नमस्कार बहनों और भाइयों, दोस्तों and all food lovers, grab a seat at the table, let your taste buds ignite, because this is where food meets politics and left meets right. The love जो आप सब are showing to the show, घी पिघल जाए किसी एपिसोड पे डाल दो तो. So let me invite you all to another episode of Polkari. यहाँ का वड़ा पाव है एक स्पाइसी डिलाइट. यहाँ की कटिंग चाय helps tired souls take flight. भेल, मिसल, दाबेली, पाव भाजी in every bite. ये है मुंबई नगरिया में खाने का इनवाइट. The city that never sleeps, but don't you worry. पोलकरी पहुंच गया है मुंबई. यहाँ कॉम्बो है एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी. Today, my guest has promised me a surprise. He's taking me to one of the oldest parts of Mumbai for a fabulous, pure, asli Maharashtrian meal. So let's meet former Union Minister, Member of Parliament with an avid interest in spirituality, music and travelled, and an Asli Mumbaikar, Milind Devra.
Welcome, Kunal, and thank you for having me on your show. This area is an area famously called CP Tank. CP Tank was named after a Parsi philanthropist and who was one of the earliest people who built a water tank for the residents of Mumbai.
Okay.
To give them clean drinking water back in the day. And this is the extended part of this area is called. This is of course in an area called Girgaon. Close to Thakurdwar, close to Bhuleshwar, close to Kalba Devi.
Okay.
Where you have a great history. The larger Girangaon area, Girni as we know in Marathi means mill workers. And the Girni Kamgar means the mill workers. Because Mumbai was a textile hub of India.
Absolutely.
Of the world in fact. And then there was a strike many decades ago and then the textile mills got shut down.
And you see remnants of old mills still in the city, don't you?
So you'll see the mills which are being redeveloped if you go to Lower Parel.
Correct.
And to Prabha Devi and those areas. But if you look around, you'll see a mix of new developments and you'll see a mix of chawls.
Yes, and these old architectural sort of...
Right. So those chawls, that is where, for example, the mill workers used to live in different parts of South Mumbai. This is where people like Dhirubhai in fact started out their career.
Oh, is that so? Okay.
This is where my father in fact started out when he came to Mumbai. But I'm taking you to...
That is what I was going to ask you because the show is called Pole Curry. That means थोड़ा खाने के बारे में भी बात करते हैं.
Absolutely. इस क्षेत्र का एक बहुत ही famous एक restaurant है. बहुत ही पुराना restaurant है. And they run an eatery called Vinay's.
Vinay.
जो बहुत ही popular है. Vegetarian, Maharashtrian food.
Maharashtrian food.
And you know this as a fellow Maharashtrian.
Yes.
कि बहुत ही authentic मराठी खाना आपको यहाँ मिलेगा. बहुत ही famous है.
खाना खाते हैं और असली महाराष्ट्रियन खाना खाते हैं.
जी.
विनय हेल्थ होम.
We'll try to make it healthy.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this place, it's recommended by doctors many times that this is a place to go to if you're sick. Unlike doctors will say, don't eat this food,
Don't eat outside
that. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
It's famous for that. Doctors will say, come to Vinay's and eat here.
That's why it's called Vinay Health Home, I suppose.
Healthy, yes. It's healthy and you should feel तुम्ही घरीच आहात.
घरीच आहात.
मी हॉटेलचं feeling
घरच्या सारखं जेवण.
आणि माझा स्टाफ हा ऑलमोस्ट 40 to 45 years old आहे. जो आमच्याकडे अजून आम्ही मेंटेन ठेवलाय.
वैसे यही तो अपने कंट्री की खासियत है कि हर कुछ 50-100 किलोमीटर आप ट्रैवल करोगे तो खाना बदल जाता है.
बहुत अंतर है.
वैरायटी, सेम आचार डिफरेंट फ्रॉम हियर, डिफरेंट फ्रॉम देयर.
लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आप जो दक्षिण महाराष्ट्र का जो मालवनी खाना है, आप दक्षिण महाराष्ट्र के मालवनी खाना और गोवा के खाना में so much
जमीन आसमान का, जमीन आसमान.
बिकॉज वहाँ का पोर्चुगीज इन्फ्लुएंस है.
करेक्ट.
देन आप गोवा से आप साउथ गोवा की ओर, आप कारवार की ओर जाओगे, उत्तर कर्नाटक, वहाँ का खाना अलग है. देन मैंगलोरियन खाना में बहुत अंतर है. मैसूर जाओगे तो बहुत अलग.
वही करी है, कहीं ग्रीन होती है, कहीं लाल होती है, कहीं येलो होती है, कहीं ब्राउन होती है. किसी में कैरी डालते हैं, किसी में इमली डालते हैं, किसी में कोकम डालते हैं. इतना. लेकिन इससे पहले का खाना आ रहा है. This is the
famous misal pav, obviously.
Yes, this is
can't go wrong.
Famous misal pav.
So food for me has been very mixed, Kunal.
Yeah.
And but like you, I'm also.
But you like your food, don't you?
बचपन से मैं foodie था, मैं आज भी हूँ. So I was a big foodie. Then at the age of 17 मैंने पूरा थोड़ा सा dieting शुरू किया. And my weight changes very fast. अब इलेक्शन का प्रोसेस है. इलेक्शन के टाइम पे कभी कभी खाना लेट होता है, डिनर 10 बजे 11 बजे, देन मॉर्निंग में फिर से कार्यक्रमों में आपको खाना पड़ता. सो नाउ मैंने ये इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग शुरू किया है, जिससे मैं 16-17 घंटों के लिए मैं फास्टिंग करने की कोशिश करता हूँ. एंड फास्टिंग में पानी अलाउड है, ब्लैक कॉफ़ी ब्लैक टी अलाउड है, दूध अलाउड नहीं है, नारियल पानी तक अलाउड नहीं है. सो टुडे आज मैं अपना उपवास तोड़ रहा हूँ आपके साथ.
जैसे हम बातें कर रहे हैं इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग की और हेल्दी खाने के, यार हेल्दी में बोलता ही नहीं, टेस्टी खाना आ रहा है. सब
टेस्टी आ रहा है.
So let's quickly look at what is on the table. We have, of course, the misal and
Misal pav. You have puris, fried puris, which you asked for.
Shrikhand.
With Shrikhand.
Yes. These are the batata vadas. And I'm like a...
This is the famous batata vada, means the vada pav of Mumbai, which is the staples, the burger of the original burger.
Yes. So please, Milind.
Yeah. Do you like spicy food?
I do like spicy food. I find that as I am sort of grow older, I can't necessarily tolerate it because it is spicy, but I like spicy food. When you travel, do you go looking out for food that you may like to eat?
For sure. Wherever I travel.
Whether it's India or whether it's
Wherever I travel. But food is certainly a big part of my thing. But I'm also happy, eating very simple stuff. So, typically.
So what is a daily meal? Normally, what would you eat?
So normally my breakfast जब मैं फास्ट अभी मैं इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग चालू है, मैं एक ब्लैक कॉफ़ी पीऊँगा मॉर्निंग में. लंच इज़ नॉर्मली फीस्टी लंच. मीन्स मुझे लंच कुछ खाना है,
चाहिए कुछ.
सो लंच में यू वोंट बिलीव इट, बट मैं कभी कभी भेलपुरी भी खाता हूँ लंच में. मुझे महाराष्ट्रन फूड, इंडियन फूड, चाइनीज़ फूड, एनी काइंड्स ऑफ फूड, थाई फूड, मिडल ईस्टर्न फूड, दीज आर माई फेवरेट्स. Parsi food.
We've had some good Parsi meals.
We've had Parsi meals together. And I find Parsi food is जो इंडियन खाना में विश्व में जब लोग जाते हैं, आप इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट में जाओगे विश्व में, तो वो मुगलाई फूड है.
Correct.
वो नॉर्थ इंडियन मुगलाई फूड है, which is also unique. But इंडियन फूड में इतने सारे फ्लेवर्स हैं, साउथ इंडियन फूड में बहुत अंतर है. I feel Goan food, Parsi food is also very unique Indian food. उनके जो फ्लेवर्स. बट देन डिनर टिपिकली देन शाम को मैं स्नैक वैक नहीं करता हूँ. कभी कभी यू आर हंग्री, यू आर ईटिंग समथिंग, यू ईट अ स्नैक. बट डायरेक्टली डिनर के टाइम आई प्रेफर, यदि मैं घर पे हूँ, मैं 2 या 3 ज्वार की रोटी.
नाइस.
बस थोड़ा हेल्दी है. बट देन सम भाजी हैज टू बी चटपटा. भाजी मस्ट बी चटपटा. एंड भाजी के साथ कभी कभी दाल, कभी कभी कढ़ी. मुझे दही का कढ़ी बहुत पसंद है. मुझे सिंधी कढ़ी बहुत पसंद है. इट्स लिटिल खट्टा. देन घर पे वो बनता है. हमारे यहाँ वी ट्राई टू एक्सपेरिमेंट विद ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ फूड, समटाइम्स धनशाक. बट टिपिकली आई वुड से लंच मेरा फर्स्ट एंड मील वे मुझे खाना है. मुझे जीभ को थोड़ा सेटिस्फाई करना.
टेम्पटेशन होता है.
उसके बाद डिनर थोड़ा सा यू टेक इट स्लो.
लेट मी टेस्ट योर नॉलेज अबाउट फूड with a very simple game. It's called Alpha May Bait. You just go down the alphabet, all the letters A to Z, depending upon how far you reach, and think of one food item name with everything. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Starting with A for apple, or A for aloo puri, or whatever.
I would say A for amras.
A for amras.
B. Batata vada.
B for batata vada. Okay.
C, chutney. I know it's a type of food, but I'm big on chutneys, achars.
Okay.
D, dhanshak.
I knew that's what coming.
E, I can't think of something with E.
E, eggs.
Okay.